Are we live?
Yeah, we are. Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi. You were completely incorrect, Nick.
You know what? I think it's better now. Look,
you know
see?
what? I'm in my spot. That's a win for him.
Yeah, hey.
Do we want to hear? Let's give our. Oh, we're good.
Yeah, see?
Good.
Hi,
We're
everyone.
Hello, Wiccan. Hello, Marley.
Yeah.
Hello, Wiccan. Hello, everybody.
Friends.
Hello, everybody on
Hello.
TikTok.
Hello.
Welcome to the Voices of Atlas.
Woo.
The best podcast you can listen to, especially when the topic's turning red.
Woo.
You can find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, YouTube, and join our Discord for fun things. Just go to voicesofatlas.com to find us everywhere.
Yeah.
And Stream Lounge. We would always like to say thank you to Stream Lounge, especially for this episode. They help us run a giveaway for our Turning Red watch party and a countdown towards the release. And if you missed the stream of us watching Turning Red, the best thing about Stream Lounge is you go over there and you can watch our replay. You could watch me cry for like a good 30 minutes
And
straight.
Laiba cry.
And Laiba cry too. I feel like we
A lot
were
of
all,
crying.
like, a little
She does like
moist
crying.
at some point.
I teared up. I am an emotionless bastard though at the same time. So
Yeah, but it's great. They're great. Go to streamlounge.io/Voices of Atlas to find us there. We do weekly watch parties every Wednesday.
Every Wednesday.
yeah.
I know it's coming up, but we'll be doing a moon night, so that's a sneak
My
peek.
Moon
boy.
night.
It's
a
a little
moon
sneak
night.
peek for you. But before we get right into it, how's everyone's been?
It's good.
Great.
Mine is hectic. Is the only way I can
Ben's
put
good.
it.
You got a hectic bin, Johnny? Tell me more.
Yeah.
I mean,
Go on.
if anyone hasn't seen my recent TikTok, I am going to fly out to LA at the end of May
Damn, that's crazy.
to
Where
go
are
to
you
Star
gonna
Wars
go?
Celebration,
Ooh.
which is awesome because I know a bunch of other creators are going to be there, like JJ, Sawyerism. Hannah said she might go, Discount
Discount
Bo-Katan,
Bo-Katan, Brooke,
Brooke, Chaco, Element 7, all of them,
all
really
Star
cool
Wars
people.
talk is gonna be there.
Yeah! And now Johnny.
And here's Johnny.
Johnny, who isn't known for his Star Wars content, is gonna apparently be there.
It's fine.
Oh, by the time
Um,
Kenobi comes around, you'll be Groot.
Also true, me and Nick are gonna be chilling together. And when Kenobi comes out,
Yeah.
I'll
Watch the
be
first
there
episode.
in LA. Me and Nick are gonna watch Kenobi.
Show him everything. Show him everywhere.
Exactly.
Show
He's
him
gonna
the world.
show me where all the good food trucks are gonna be.
Where all the
probably.
good bins are.
What like a proper
Exactly.
taco is, what real horchata tastes like.
Oh my god.
You know.
I've had real horchata, okay?
No, I don't know. I have many doubts.
Okay, next time I go to the Mexican restaurant near my house, I will send you
Uh-huh.
a picture of what it looks like.
Sure.
You will be impressed, I think.
Okay.
And on Saturday it's my birthday, so I have
Happy
Happy birthday.
Thank you, you
Happy
guys.
birthday. Gonna party
Yay!
like
I'm turning 24, even though I still feel like I've lost like 3 years of my life to a
I'm-
fucking pandemic.
Yeah.
haven't we just all minus 2 years and we're good.
At least you didn't lose a dad. You know. That's.
Yeah, could have been worse.
It could have been worse for you.
Damn it!
Yeah,
Shut up now.
so Nick, how's your bin?
My bin's great. Just living my best dead dad life. I have my enamel pins working right now, which is fun. They are heavily inspired by Moon Knight. I call them Face of the Moon pins.
No, we need to add a link to that from
Yeah.
We
in our
should.
Voices of Atlas
Yeah.
entry because buy his pins. They look so freaking
Yeah.
They're
I bought
so
2
sick.
sets.
I'm so
good.
excited.
Me too, and they glow in the dark.
They go in the dark.
I don't know if my brother listens to this, but if you come across this episode, you are getting a set of pins.
Yeah.
There you
it's-
go.
Um,
Victoria's brother gets some pins.
I just got the mock-ups earlier today, and they look really nice.
Yay!
I did switch it to hard enamel, so it's gonna be like polished and it's flat. And,
Hard enamel's the
Fuck
best.
yeah.
it's gonna be cute. It's gonna be great.
Nice.
I just
Um,
love that they glow in
Cute.
the dark.
Yeah, and then kind of like easing into my new job, so I'm getting a little better at that. About a month away from my wedding. Well, yeah, a month or
You're
month,
gonna
6 weeks.
be a married man.
I'm gonna be a married man.
soon.
Yeah,
Oh
I'm gonna
my
be someone's husband. Isn't that
gosh.
wild?
Hot damn!
Yeah, really
Yes.
excited.
Spouses of Atlas.
Oh, okay, one thing, like, okay, everyone always tells me the closer I get to this date, and it's mostly like older white men who are like, "Oh, you nervous?" And I was like, "No, I'm not nervous. Like, of course I'm not nervous. Like, if I didn't want to get married, I would have definitely like not ask
Not
that
provoke.
question. Yeah, exactly. I
White
will.
men have the weirdest ideas.
Right? It's
of,
weird.
Like, relationships
Um,
sometimes.
But I think what I've discovered is like I think you can be ready to get married. I think you're never ready to plan a wedding. You know, like
Yeah.
planning a wedding is like a different ballpark. How can you be good at something you're only presumed to do once? Yeah, it's my bin. You know, we're doing good. We're doing good.
Why? But how's your bin? You said it was a good bin.
It was a good bin, but it was also a really stressful bin.
Yeah.
But I've been really addicted to Pokemon Go. Is what I've
What?
been. I'm back in my
That's so
Pokemon Go
random.
phase.
Okay, I'm
Wait, I
downloading.
love
I'm gonna
that.
download it, and we're gonna be
Legit.
friends.
Please, I am so addicted to it. It's dangerous.
Oh no.
Have you caught the new Alolan Pokemons yet?
No,
They're already on the low end
I-
Pokemons?
Yeah, they're on Alola now.
Pokemons? Like I'm an old man.
Pokemans.
They're on those Pokemons now?
Those
The
pocket
pocket monsters.
But yeah, it's been a good bin. I told Johnny this, but I started pre-production for my documentary. And I'm really excited. I'm so excited.
I was gonna
Basically
rock
become
this
Domishi,
world.
and it's going to be the best thing ever.
Yeah,
Yeah,
my
and
goal
then
is to become a baby Domishi.
there you go. And then Laiba's gonna go on to direct a Marvel movie. It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah.
Domishi,
I'ma
if you're
produce
listening to
it,
this,
direct
I've
it,
got an
and stuff.
intern for you.
Laiba's gonna
It's
make
me.
that fucking movie.
Oh yeah, so
Cool.
cute.
Oh, that'd be so cool. And my bin.
Yeah.
Hello, I'm Victoria. My
Yes,
bin's
how
been
is-
great. After the whole Turning Red countdown, and we did the giveaways, and then we did the watch party, and I cried, and then I watched it 2 more times, and I also cried.
How many times have all of us seen Turning Red on here now?
I've seen
I'm
it
curious.
twice.
3.
Yeah.
5, 4 for me.
5?
Watched it 5 times.
Whoa.
Damn.
Laiba's the goat.
Yeah,
Laiba's
that's
the
wild.
goat.
Laiba's the
I
goat.
like having it in the background. It's good.
So good. I've been listening to the soundtrack a lot though, so
too.
that I think makes up for
Gucci.
some of those numbers. But it's been like such a relaxing thing after it's been released, and it's all good, and like it's just people are talking about it, and there's such positive reaction. I mean,
Mhm.
from the right people, there's positive
the-
reactions
From-
about it.
Yeah.
I
We'll
will
get
say-
there. But,
Did we add
it-
that music into the VOA playlist?
I think we should.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
did add the 4 Town song in.
I think okay. I did. I
Oh,
was like
all of them?
listening.
we need to add the
I added the
Cantonese
one.
version.
Okay, because
Oh,
I got.
I
okay.
think we need that version.
I was
We
like
do need the
listening to
Friends
this
version.
morning, and I was like, "Oh, we had some new stuff in here."
Laiba
listen to, like,
and I
every
have been
morning.
at it.
Also,
Yeah.
little plug. We have a playlist.
Oh, yeah.
You
It's
guys
fun.
want to see it? Let's
Well,
show
The
you.
official VOA playlist.
Playlist.
We'll link it somewhere.
Somewhere.
Yes, we will.
And it's gonna be. I listen to it all the fucking time.
I
It's
listen
so
to it
good.
whenever I'm on the bus now because gas is expensive in BC.
Oh, it's
It
expensive
is a
here,
little
too.
bit of a breakup playlist, but that's
Uh,
just because we're all emotional.
That's just because
so.
you and just because you and I were adding
I threw
music.
some
pop
pop
Johnny,
punk
leave it
that
alone.
place.
I threw some pop punk in there. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
threw
I'll
some,
add in Ed Sheeran.
I added in some K-pop too.
Yeah, K-pop.
Some
There's
Taeyong.
a lot.
I was wondering who added in Butter.
I like butter.
Yeah, no,
Good
that's
song.
too
I'd be
early.
like,
I
at
was just like,
work,
who
I'd be
added
like-
K-pop?
Oh my god. Okay, I feel like we're gonna get into boy bands soon, but
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh my
no,
gosh.
everybody,
yeah?
we've been having a good bit, a great bit.
Yeah.
We have been
excited for
excelling.
stuff to come. Oh, like also with the Turning Red stuff, like also my content's been soaring.
Fuck yeah.
Finally hit the
Yay.
algorithm.
Isn't
the
that nice?
algorithm is
It's amazing.
thanking me. I'm like, okay, yeah, now you're showing the videos saying 20 days to Turning Red and having a whole bunch of people comment. It's already out, but anyway.
That's
That's-
what happened when I did Shun-Chi. I had to comment like, look at the day that I put out this video, people.
Just go to my page. Like if it's out, I probably know it's out.
That's why I
Anyway.
didn't do like whenever I do countdowns now, I don't go like we're this amount of days away. I just do that for the cover for it. So,
Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah.
interesting. I kind of like them because it was like free.
Oh, they were way better.
engagement.
yeah.
But before we get into today's episode, I don't know if you guys had any gaslighting things, but I had a question for Nick.
Yeah.
Whether
I did
it's
not.
true or false, people in Toronto are still mad that the Sky Dome is not called the Sky Dome anymore.
There's an actual
that-
Sky Dome.
Yeah, that's a real.
You know,
that's
you wouldn't
the,
know this if you actually watched the movie with us.
That's the
that's a real place.
in Toronto where the Blue Jays play.
It's not called the Skydome anymore.
No.
I believe it because if people are so mad about it, I totally believe it because we have the Staples Center here in
Staples
Los
Center?
Angeles.
No longer the Staples Center.
No, it's still the Staples Center. Okay, like
Probably.
I don't care
I
that they
unleashed
call
something
it
in Nick.
the crypto whatever. It's the Staples Center forever. Okay, so I'm gonna agree that that's not called it. What's it called now?
Rogers Center.
That's
After
stupid.
our telecom monopoly.
Overlord, who my mother works
Overlord.
for.
Essentially AT&T, but
Yeah.
Oh.
But better.
no.
Yeah, no.
I mean, hey, it's fine, except for that one time they went down and I couldn't call 911 while I was at work. So that was concerning.
Crypto Arena, yeah, that's what it's called.
I mean, you think like phone prices and stuff are high in the US. They're like twice.
Yeah,
the price
Nick,
in
we don't have
Canada.
unlimited data here. There's a monopoly on them.
It's
Oh,
like a
that's
good like
awful.
$70 or $80 a month from unlimited
Yeah.
data.
Oh, that's awful. Yeah.
And it's throttled after 10 gigs. Let's not get into it. Yeah, but like Skydome is real. It is right beside the CN Tower, as you can kind of see in the movie.
Right.
And people are still mad it's not called the
Yeah,
Skydome
yeah.
I don't
anymore.
It's
blame
called
them.
it's a dome in the sky.
Skydome is cool.
Rogers
Rogers
Center.
Ugh.
Rogers
I mean,
Center.
I have the Rogers
Center.
Arena here in Vancouver.
I don't even know who
so
Roger is.
We got like cousin buildings kind of going on.
No, it's cool in that area. I mean, because the hockey arena is right nearby, which has the Maple Leafs and the Raptors, and they're in the playoffs.
Go
They turned that area
Raptors.
into Raptors Square.
Oh, cool.
They actually call it Jurassic Park. So Jurassic Park, and then they have
that's
Maple
funny.
Leaf Square, which is kind of
You kind of gotta love it.
There is
Yeah.
one thing in the movie that like I was like screwing at myself for. It was when she came in to school after she had after she had gotten her red
Mhm.
panda,
Yeah.
and she was wearing the toque.
Yeah.
And what's it? I
Did
think
you go, is that a
Miriam.
toque?
Yeah, Miriam was like, "Yo, what's with the toque?" And I was like, "That's a beanie. It's just not, it's not a beanie."
I was thinking about this. Like, I kind of want to gaslight Nick for this.
I was so upset. I was like, "This is this is specifically targeted for me." And I was like, "I'm gonna bring this up. This makes me mad." And
We know Domi Sheet, Nick. We got her to put that in for us.
I should have worn
You should have
my
worn your
toque that
toque.
says
Yeah.
toque on it.
oh man, I was so
But-
pissed, and I was,
Oh.
oh god, I was like, "This is so funny, specifically just
So
for me."
Canadian in so many ways.
And we
That's when
love
I was
it
like,
for
"This
that.
movie is Canadian."
Mhm.
Yeah, not the
Domi
fact that
sheet.
it's
Domi
set
sheet
in
is so
Canada.
Canadian,
You
know.
look directly into camera for that.
I was like, "This is definitely
He's like, this
Canadian."
movie is Canadian.
It's like, wow, they really leaned into the Canadian part of this movie.
They really did.
They
But,
really did, and we appreciate it.
If you hadn't figured out, we're talking Turning Red today.
Yeah.
Ooh.
This is very exciting. And if you haven't seen the movie,
What are you
What are
doing?
you doing?
go
What's
watch
wrong
it.
with
Yeah.
you?
Why are you
Or,
dancing,
or
Nick?
go watch it on Stream Lounge and watch us cry.
Yeah.
And then come back here, and
Can we
then
watch it
you'll
with
get a
us?
lot of context with
Exactly.
everything, especially with the Canadian references and all the little everything that's going.
Oh, we should have made a
around
list
about
of
it.
all the Canadian references.
Oh,
Oh,
why
I'm
don't
gonna-
you-
The
I
entire
have
movie.
some videos planned of like everything
Oh,
that
perfect.
me and May do that are the exact same.
same thing.
You know what, when
you go
including
back
to
slapping
Toronto-
my face to like focus. I'm like, let's go.
No, but, like,
but
legit though, when you go back to Toronto, just like film yourself going through certain areas.
yeah, it's only like a week and a half away
There you
before
go.
that content comes out. Probably 2 weeks, but chat, if you are listening to this live on Twitch, chat, we encourage your interaction. We have amazing emojis, and we want to hear your opinions on things, especially when it gets down to some of the controversial bits.
Yeah.
Hell
So,
yeah.
Come on.
there's that. And to start it off, we just want to give a round of applause for all of the amazing women in the exec rooms for this movie. If you haven't
don't know
watched
what- yes.
Embrace the Panda, which is behind the scenes, you can see Domi Shi, Rona, I forgot some of the other ladies' names, Lindsay, and somebody else. You get a good look. We have women in charge. We have women of color in charge. We have queer women in charge.
We have
And it's so
Yeah.
inspiring. It's great. And they knocked it out of the park.
yeah. They
And I-
really did.
I think Sandra Oh said it was her first production where all of the execs and stuff were women.
I think she
And
did.
she's
Hell
been
yeah.
in the industry forever. So groundbreaking moments. And then on the flip side of that, we want to take a moment to also say fuck you, Bob Chapek.
Yeah,
You've
Chapek.
been an asshole recently and forever.
Come on, Chapek.
Wasn't that you always post on TikTok about like being enemies?
Oh yeah, I have a negative parasocial relationship with
There we
Bob
go.
Chapek.
Yeah.
I've gotten a lot of views on a lot of videos of bashing Bob Chapek.
How dare
As
you,
you
Chapek?
should.
Because of the Shang-Chi stuff, treating it as an experiment
Experiment.
for the streaming hybrid theater releases. He pulled the same shit for Turning Red.
Yeah.
For what? It's like, yeah, you announced that during Omicron, but does the States even take that seriously? By the time it was
No.
released, all the
No.
mandates and everything was
Fucking
gone.
hell. Okay.
So-
we went there.
Yeah.
It's also just like telling because like obviously like Spider-Man No Way Home didn't care about those things, and then they just
No.
pulled it.
I've
for-
heard that was Sony, so.
Yeah, I
That's
still think
true,
it's
but,
like I still think that's just it's in poor taste. You know,
Oh, 100%.
it's
Yeah.
in poor taste to think like, oh well, they did it for that movie. Like in parallel, like a Disney CEO should be like, we should put this movie out if we believe in
Right?
it.
Mhm.
It's like, oh, but we don't believe in it as much as Spider-Man. Like, well, that
And they,
sucks.
like, people also were commenting, telling me they would have paid for it behind a paywall too. So like the money,
Yeah.
like, the movie could make money, but
I would have paid stupid money for this movie.
obviously manufactured results. Apparently it has the #1 streaming release of a movie,
Yeah.
like, which is really great. Thank you everybody for streaming
Woo.
the movie, but
Thank you.
that's just numbers. They're not going to really figure out how many people would have purchased tickets to it. So
True.
that's
Yeah.
kind of sad. They did bring
On-
back a few theater releases, but it's like
It's not in Canada.
not in Canada and like
Yeah.
one per
It's
major
Irkling.
city.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Stupid.
not great.
See, we had
Dumb.
we had TCL. We had the China theater that was showing it. Oh no, the China
No, it's
theater.
El Capitan.
Yeah, El Capitan, which is right across the street from it, and
They had a
like,
whole like experience.
They
Which seemed
did,
Really
they
freaking
did.
Cool.
Ah.
Oakland had it. Those were the two that I know of. But also Chapek. Another
You're
reason
welcome,
why
Tyler.
people were mad is the "Don't Say Gay" stuff, which
Yeah.
is really freaking scummy. But with all the Pixar letters from the employees and people talking about it online, I think as of right now he's paused donations to the organizations for the "Don't Say Gay" bill, which is a small win.
yeah,
The bare
Very small win.
minimum.
Can you get the money
bare
back on
minimum,
donations,
but we
though?
also learned that in a number of the Pixar movies, any explicit queer content was
removed,
removed,
Ooh, pretty much.
censored
removed.
to make it implicit or anything. I mean, we saw this with the Batman, but they won't say it. So they're holding true with the "Don't Say Gay" statement, which is really sad because we had a queer woman
And
working
behind
on
the wheel for this film.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
that was our Chapek disclaimer. Fuck
Yeah,
them, but
Chapek.
if this movie doesn't do well, then representation and diverse projects won't get funding.
who was the CEO before him? It was
Bob Iger.
Bob Iger. God, they were both
I'm
terrible.
Also shitty.
I don't
Actually, he was a
hate
little
Iger
less
as much.
shitty.
Yeah.
His management was just awful, but like Chapek just clearly is
I
running
will-
the legacy into the floor.
I don't like Iger, but I do appreciate him for the fact that he gave Feige full control of the MCU at least. So
Yeah.
at least we have that, rather than him having to go through that shithead Trump supporter who was in charge of Marvel itself at the time.
Who was that?
Yeah.
And I think he still is. I can't
the
remember his
guy
name.
who wouldn't allow women-led or
Yeah,
people
like-
of color-led projects.
Yeah,
Like
I
guarantee
remember
you,
this,
if
I
he
remember
was still
this, I
behind the
remember
wheel, we never would have gotten Shang-Chi.
this. Promise.
Oh,
Yeah.
for
Absolutely.
sure. For sure. So at least small wins. Funding's been paused,
Yeah.
maybe? And people are talking about it, which
Exactly.
is also great.
Do the
The
work,
important part.
people. You can't just like
Do
say
the
sorry and then be like, yeah, look, I'm sorry. Like, no, you gotta do the work. You always gotta do the work.
Agreed.
Yeah.
But let's get into it. We're gonna start out about how we felt about this film, but like, how did you feel about leading up to this movie? That's
Oh.
what I want to know, because
Man.
we heard
I
about
think
it.
it's
There wasn't
fair.
much upset about it.
Exactly. I think
But
it's
then
fair to
we're
say
us.
that the four of us were the biggest champion of this film, besides maybe like the actual people who made the movie. I think that's fair to say, right, people?
Yeah,
Right?
Yeah,
I think so.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. I'd say it is.
we
Mhm.
we were associated via social media. I mean, just there's four of them, there's four of us, you know. So
It's numbers. They work.
hmm I mean, like it was inevitable. This movie was specifically
Inevitable.
about Victoria. I don't know how else to
This
like
movie is
throw
Literally,
that out
I
there.
think it's Victoria's autobiography.
Yeah,
Domi
I'm-
Shi has
Except
been
for
watching
she has an
Victoria.
alive dad, and that's it.
How Domi Shi is how Kyle Higgins is to my life right now. Like I swear he's living in my walls. You know, like they're all just like jotting down like pieces of our life. Like, yeah, put that in, write that down.
Me with Shang-Chi.
Especially watching the behind the scenes, she like
Oh, yeah.
shows stuff with like what her family would do, and I'm just like, this is.
I
Okay,
was
we
That's
lived
so
the same life then.
Yeah. I was
Right?
watching the documentary, and then I remember Domi just talking about how like she spent a lot of her time with her mom because her dad wasn't around too much. I'm just like, oh, this one's gonna make Victoria cry.
Oh yeah, like it's such a special relationship with like mothers and daughters, and it's like not uncommon, especially too for like immigrant families where like the father has to be like working so much because they come to the country, they're qualified
Mhm.
for whatever field they're in, but Canada also doesn't recognize a lot of those qualifications too,
Yeah.
especially when it comes to medical stuff and dentistry
sucks.
and engineering or whatever.
Yeah.
So then they have to work twice as hard for half as much just to be in a I
To be
guess
like
Just to
same
get
room.
close
Yeah.
to some form of recognition.
Laiba, how did you
Yeah.
feel about the movie, like leading up to it?
I was excited every single time I saw the trailer,
Mhm.
which was so weird because I only saw one. I only saw one trailer
Yeah.
every time I went to the movies.
Chapek.
So what the hell? But I was super excited because just like seeing the CN Tower, first of all, hearing Sandra I was like, it's my mom.
That's Marmar.
It's
Marmar.
Marmar.
Mar. We love you, Marmar.
Oh, we should hang out with
We love
Marmar.
I'll see what.
Sorry,
I'll
I'm
see
just
what
thinking about the
she's
Cali trip.
up. No, yeah, I'll see what's up with her. But
But
yeah,
yes.
it was. I think just leading up to the film after watching what was the last Pixar film? That was the last
That
Disney
would have
film
been Luca.
Luca.
was Luca.
Luca was the last
Luca.
Pixar. Last Disney film was Encanto.
Right?
Mhm.
Yeah, I got the double whammy on that. That was not fun.
I remember.
I made that video, which has like what 30,000 views now. I was like,
Oh,
yeah, Disney's out to kill me
God.
emotionally.
Baby.
Chapek heard
Oh,
what I said
God.
about him, and he's like, I can get you. I
I
can
will
get you.
emotionally fuck you up.
And then
Next
Higgins
up,
is
Dead
also like,
Dads.
I'm ready.
Yeah. We got your dad.
Ready
We
to kill
got-
us father
We
figures.
got
and we're
one half of your
done.
family. We got the other half of your family. We're gonna get all of you.
Oh God,
Oh my
Chapek's just the
God.
Wicked Witch of the West right now.
Watch, what is it? Pixar's Lightyear is just about Lightyear getting married, and that's my entire just me stressing the whole time.
To get back to his wife.
God. Oh, we should watch Bridesmaids around the time of your wedding, Nick.
My fiance loves Bridesmaids.
Exactly.
it's
No,
so
you guys
fun.
did a
You will
Halloween
pay for
costume.
her.
Yeah.
There we
yeah.
go.
Oh yeah, we did do that. The
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
Halloween costume thing.
The
yeah, yeah.
reenactment
So good.
with the Marshall.
Yeah. Oh man. Okay. Back to Turning Red. We're back.
Back to Turning Red. But yeah, no, for me leading up to obviously if you missed on my social medias, I was doing a countdown every day to the movie for
Mhm.
4 weeks. And you know, some of those days were pretty rough, like
Mhm.
sitting at like 80 views until I went to bed, and then maybe it'd break 100. But now it's doing better. But so many people are just like, oh my God, like I didn't hear of this movie. Oh, I'm gonna check this movie out. Your excitement is getting me so excited, and best feeling in the world.
to finally
Even if we
get
just
Also-
touch one soul out there, it was
Exactly.
worth it.
People are like, oh, I mean, this kind of gets into afterwards because that took a lot. There was not a lot of explicit marketing. Like, I got targeted, but I was also following the accounts. And
Right.
I was very much interacting with the posts. I'm like, of course I'm going to get these ads. But, like, they had a little tour, Toronto. I don't know why they didn't do the world premiere in Toronto.
Yeah.
Right?
It counts
Yeah.
for the awards circuit.
Yeah.
You need to have an international whatever. They had a little thing at TIFF, but like they
Right,
could have
right.
done so much more. Capitalize on the Toronto
Aspects of it.
folks.
And this is where like we're not salty we weren't invited. I'm just saying that like as
There could be more
create
people
I
invited.
was
Yeah.
a
in
little bit
general.
salty.
A little bit salty.
Okay.
but
But
like
like, was it? Only
yeah.
person who was notable off TikTok, at least that was at the premiere, was Juju. Everyone
There
else
was
was that
Juju.
fucking Batman.
there was also like there were some Asian creators that were there. I think the sisters were there on TikTok. I forget their names.
Yes.
Erica and
Yes.
Erica and her
Mhm.
sister were there.
Mhm.
AJ, Dante, and
Dante Bosco.
yeah, they were both there.
Mhm.
There's one other TikToker that people told me about. Who's
That was there, yeah. But the thing is like this premiere, like that premiere, just like came out of nowhere.
We
Like,
didn't even know
Yeah.
about it.
we didn't know it was
Yeah.
happening. When I saw it on TikTok, I was like, they had a premiere.
Right?
Mhm.
It was last
I-
night.
I only saw it because I was following their Instagram.
Yeah.
To see their Instagram stories.
Same.
Yeah,
And then they posted it on like Twitter and stuff as it went on too. But I was like so surprised. And
Mm-hmm.
it's just like with like out of our like as I think that we mentioned that out of the people we follow, there was
Yeah.
only Juju there.
yeah,
Because it was also the same night as the Batman. And like I don't blame any of those creators. Like you go
No.
to the
Yeah, hey,
places
it's
you're
your
invited
bag.
to, and I don't think
Yeah.
they were invited. I know some of them had early press viewings that
Yeah.
they got links to, but
it's just it's so strange that like
and the production of it too is like just about there's like lanterns and then cardboard cutouts,
Yeah.
yeah,
which is cute, which makes sense so that you could pose with like the characters, but
yeah. It was just definitely like questionable. Like us as Asian creators watching that, it's like we didn't even hear about this. We didn't even know about this.
'Cause
Like
if you think about it, it doesn't really reach like the proper demographic. Because yes,
Yeah.
Juju has a lot of followers, but
Just for movies
it's
and all that.
helped. But
it's just for movies. But Marmor talks about representation and
Exactly.
is
She's the
our
daughter
mom.
of Sandra Oh.
yeah,
The daughter of Sandra Oh, and I know a lot of like Asian people follow Marmar because
Yep.
it's what they look to for, I don't know, seeing somebody in media that looks like them and has a voice and is using it with a proper platform. But they didn't do
Did
it
it
properly.
seem
You know,
like
they
they
didn't invite the right creators.
and yeah, it doesn't seem like they digged deep enough to
right.
they find those micro influencers. I get it's like different PR person than like
Mhm.
the Disney movies and the Marvel,
Marvel
movies and the
movies,
Star Wars
Star
ones, but
Wars,
like
yeah.
it seems like they like especially too with like Star Wars, like they really dig deep to find local like cosplayers and stuff, or
Mhm.
even to bring fans to the event and stuff. Like it's just like where was this? It just seemed like the
This-
immediate cast and crew and like
Yeah.
those like handful of influencers and
It's-
other Asian celebrities. Like where's Simu?
Yeah, it's just very it's,
Legitimately though, like where was Simu? He is a Chinese Toronto guy. He would have been perfect for it.
yeah. It's
He could have
I mean,
had
he could
so
have
much
been busy,
exposure.
but like still.
it's just very disingenuous of like a company. And then like again, we're not upset. We're pretty upset we didn't get invited, but like you know what I mean. Like it's one of those things. It's
like
like
if not me, like I wanted more. Like if there's like so many more people, there was
Exactly.
there. Like
yeah.
if they had a whole group of like just movie people and or comic like something.
Yeah.
Something
I-
where people were
I think-
aware of it.
Yeah, I think it was a mistake for them to also have the premiere on the same night as Batman because that
Batman.
was just the dumbest move.
Yeah.
Dumbest
Yeah.
like PR move ever to like why would you even do that?
I
It's
feel like
just putting the
feel like-
movie up to
Did they
fail.
have
Yeah.
like other it doesn't have to be a specific day those premieres either.
Exactly. I don't know,
Right?
man.
Yeah, they
Okay,
got done it like a week earlier.
like they're
Yeah.
Disney Pixar. They can do whatever the fuck they want. They can move. They wanted to move
Oh,
it. They're like, hey
Disney.
guys, we're moving it tomorrow. They can do that. You know why? Because they're Disney. You know,
Yeah.
It
it's
very
But
much
then
felt
they
like they
didn't.
wanted to sweep this underneath the rug. Is the thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like it definitely felt like their premiere was a premiere so they could get on the award circuit, which is
Yeah.
good. I want them on the award circuit
Circuit,
because
right?
their
Yeah.
animation
Same.
stuff, it was fantastic. But it was just like also too afterwards, it's just like somebody had to take me in some I don't even know if they talk film or media or whatever, or if they like I don't even know what their niche was, but like they take me and say like, oh, like look at their PR box. I'm like, obviously it didn't hit any of our
yeah. And,
feeds
yeah,
that they had any PR boxes.
Didn't even know it
either.
came
Like I don't care. Like I was just like whatever, but like I want to see people I know
Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly.
People who look
in
like us
the
opening
niche
this.
or whatever. Because I think it was just a white person who had it. I'm just like,
Yeah.
Gotta love that.
It's random. Yeah.
please give it to Asian people. I don't know.
Disney, you're 0 for 1 right now. So if you don't invite us to Shang-Chi 2 or
Ghost
Ghost
Rider.
Rider, it's a hate crime. Okay, it's actually a hate crime.
Or Laiba to
Um,
Ms. Marvel.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Oh, I'd love.
get Laiba to Ms. Marvel.
Get my little
Laiba.
It's
That's
a
our
hate
next
crime.
campaign.
It's just a hate crime. I
I
mean,
want
like
to be best friends with Iman Vellani.
if you don't have
Honestly,
Robbie,
same.
if you don't have Robbie and Ghost Rider, that's also just a hate crime. That's sorry. I don't make the rules here. That's just how it is.
Got a list. Got to check them
Got
off.
a list. You're 0
Yeah.
for 1 right now. Your record's not looking good, Disney.
Not good, but at
Clean up
least
your
they
act, kid.
brought some representation into their boy band.
Yeah.
That is a good.
That is
thing.
nice. I
They
think
it was more diverse on that their
Um,
boy band and then on their.
I will
carpet.
say that like Turning Red does have this like second wind of not second wind, but like because it's technically its first wind, right?
Their
But
first win.
it
yeah.
is
For
like
women, for sure.
it is having this visual reaction after its release, right?
Yeah.
Not prior to
It's-
it.
It's having its like Encanto on streaming day.
Boom. Yeah.
Reaction.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is like I don't
Which is
know.
good. I think that's what they were banking on. But like,
I hope
Yeah.
I see, but then like if I say that, then it's like were they experimenting and seeing how that was gonna go? Like, and that's just like it's just weird. That should not have been the traditional way to go about it, right? Like it's something that just feels like I'm glad that people are talking about this movie, but like you said, like you made content for a month about this movie, and only after does it boom. That's like a whole month's worth of work, right?
Yeah.
I took a screenshot as of release day before I watched the movie. Those 28 or 30 or how many videos I did was at like maybe like 130K.
Uh-huh.
Now it's at like 700.
Yeah.
750K.
Yeah.
So it's like
This
But,
major
like-
uptick boom.
it's more than triples.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Okay, but that was our thoughts beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
Or before
I'm
the
Curious
movie.
though, what do we think of just? I feel like we should all get our thoughts out about this. What do we think of Disney just fucking over Pixar though?
I don't think they'll do it. Pixar's
No.
Pixar's literally a money factory.
Mhm.
Yeah, but all ever since was it Soul? Every single Pixar movie has just been on Disney Plus.
You have to question like what is going on there. You know?
Lightyear is 100% going to theaters
Yeah.
because
It
they're
is a
banking
known
on
property.
the nostalgia. It's
Yeah.
an
Exactly.
IP thing, which
Yeah.
is like
Because you're gonna be able to get those 20-year-old butts in seats just with Toy Story.
Who's
So,
the current CEO of Pixar?
Let's do a quick Google
question.
search.
Let me see. It is Jim Morris.
Mm.
Yeah, I don't know. You have to really there's a lot to unpack there with like how those releases work because like Pixar is like its own independent thing, even though they're like heavily ingrained in like Disney's like ideology and like production. I don't
kind of
know.
like Marvel Studios in a way.
Yeah, like I don't know like where those big decisions are being made. Like it's gonna be streaming and it's gonna be in
But
theaters.
I do know
Theaters.
that there were Pixar employees that were
They weren't happy.
very sad
Right.
that the movie that they were
Of
working on
course.
with the
Yeah.
intentions of theatrical releases, especially
Yeah.
Turning Red, because at that point it's just like they
Just
had
the
a date
colors
for the
alone.
longest time, and it was like pulled out from under them like
Yeah.
2
So
months.
Exactly.
I mean, I can imagine the internal like turmoil that's happening in that company right now because it's like
Mhm.
you have the LGBT thing, the Don't Say Gay bill happening, right? Like collectively as a company,
There's
they're
gonna be a
upset.
walkout.
Mhm.
Right, but then you also have people of color who are probably upset that, like, well, our movies and stories aren't being
Mhm.
like told to people. It's a lot of like conflicting things. I kind of get it though, because like as someone who used to go to like conventions, right, and do like artwork and stuff, like I still
Mhm.
can't get behind people going to conventions. Like I can't myself go to a convention, and
Yeah.
even though like other artists are like, oh, this is my livelihood, like I have to do this. It's like there's a part of me that's like, I don't like that. I don't like that I have to support these like live big events where no one's being safe, and you know,
Mhm.
like be there just because I have to make money, right? I make good money at conventions, but like I just in good conscience I can't do that, right? It's one of those very conflicting things. Like I'm
Yeah,
sure
so like I'm
someone,
very happy that it was very accessible, especially to young families.
Yeah.
To be able to stream, but it's like
it's a double edged sword. Everything like right now is like a double edged sword in
have
like
it at least
how,
at a few more
Yeah.
theaters, or like the fact that like it wasn't in any Canadian
Yeah.
theaters. It's
Yeah.
just like you're missing a huge part of the market that
Demographic.
if
right. Or like
it is open or
advertise
whatever.
a 1 day or like a 1 weekend special or something like that. You know, like
Yeah.
make an effort somewhere, but like we don't see that. So that's
Like just do one in every single major city per province. Do one
Yeah.
in Vancouver, Calgary, Toronto, all of
The
it.
people who come out will come out. and you'll
Exactly.
see
I
the-
would legitimately have gone to every showing I could have for Turning Red.
yeah. Yeah, but
So-
I think it's just it's more it's more complicated than just being like, oh, so
It
one
is,
person
yeah.
so one person decided it's
Mhm.
not going to be in theaters. Like there's a
Yeah.
lot of factors at
There's a
play.
lot of factors there.
I mean,
but
it all comes down to the price. like,
yeah.
money.
True.
And
Yeah.
it's just like no one was going to be happy, I think. Like no one's going to be happy with the release or how it's going to come out.
though
So,
I find a lot of people haven't really been giving anybody any shit about going to any other movie
yeah.
recently, which
Yeah.
is like I know that's like a social thing, even though like I'm not super comfortable yet, but like
Mhm.
I did go see the Batman, and I had like at least to me movie theaters people are like stationary, and
Mhm.
I'm like okay whatever, but I think why we have such a reaction to this is because this movie resonates with us like
Oh yeah.
a lot.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it feels a lot bit personal when it's just like
It feels like we're getting
why
hindered.
aren't they even like seemingly proud
Mhm.
Of it, yeah. Yeah, it's such a
when
good
it's
movie.
something to be so proud of? It's fantastic, it's great, but on that topic, how did this movie resonate with each of you? I know Nick and Johnny is going to be a little bit different because
Yeah.
it's
We
centered
do.
around
We're men. That's-
a womanhood.
we're men.
I know there's definitely ways that y'all also resonate.
Oh, there's definitely ways. I'll share.
Why
Um,
don't we go
so,
first?
like-
It's like we'll probably have the least to say.
I was gonna say
Yeah,
like,
go,
we'll just throw our stuff
Yeah,
out there
go
and then we'll let
ahead,
Go,
Laiba and
Johnny.
Victoria take
Let's
over.
let's try to grasp at straws.
Well, I'm just gonna say this: just this friend group here behind me,
Uh-huh.
it's absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
Because first off, it's diverse,
Right.
right? And above all else, just because like relating back to like the growing pains of how like you drift further away from your family and you just become more ingrained in your friend groups. I'm someone who like very much relies and just adores their friends, right? I'm just gonna oust myself
That's
right
why
now.
you're Miriam.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask myself right now. I had 0 friends in elementary school. I had people who I thought I could be considered as friends, but you know, they definitely didn't care about me.
Right.
I didn't really get any real friends, I'd say, until like partway through high school. And now that I'm adult and I've gone through post-secondary, I've had genuine people who I honestly would rather call closer to me than I would most of my family members. So for me, at least, the friendship behind me is absolutely beautiful. The moment where May is just on the ground crying, and what Abby, Miriam, and Priya does just to comfort her, just by singing, by hugging her, and all that, it's just the best thing ever. You
So
know?
healthy.
Exactly.
So sweet.
I do like what
So-
you. I do relate to that idea that like sometimes you feel like closer to your friends than like some of your family.
Exactly.
It's definitely like one of those things that like I love my family, right? But I can't tell my family. I can tell my family everything now, but I was a little shit back in high school, right?
I
Like,
still am.
and I definitely get that idea that like, oh, you love your family, but like your friends are kind of like who you are.
Exactly.
Back in middle school and high school, my friends were everything, right? We played Yu-Gi-Oh every single day. We went to the card shop every Saturday. We played hooky together. They're the best men at my wedding. Like they're the groomsmen at my wedding. So it's like
I love that.
I have a Yu-Gi-Oh table at my wedding. Like I have a table specifically to play Yu-Gi-Oh at
Nick,
my wedding.
can
I'm
I
gonna take a
come
picture
to
of this.
your wedding?
Yeah, no, I do because all of my friends still play Yu-Gi-Oh, and I was like, yeah, they're gonna like.
Bro.
I know them. They need something to do, and I want to do something with them. I want to play Yu-Gi-Oh at my wedding, and
Bro, I
that's,
kind of love
That's
that so
amazing.
much.
That's amazing. You
Laiba, want to go
nerd.
crash Nick's wedding?
Oh, on top of that, just with this movie, all of them, they're just embracing their nerdiness
Oh,
and their
yeah.
fangirl nature, and
Right?
that Yu-Gi-Oh nail on the head.
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Was it? I think.
So-
Embrace it.
we don't have
I
boy
saw
bands.
this-
We had Yu-Gi-Oh. That's
Exactly.
Exactly.
I saw this quote online from like the thing that Turning Red taught someone was like, it's to not kill the part of you that is cringy, but to kill the part of you that cringes. You know,
Yes.
Yeah.
Like
No,
all this
absolutely.
stuff.
I get that. Yeah. That's something that's
And have
learned.
your buddies there who are like fully embrace it. Let's just
Exactly.
double down.
yeah.
Like I posted that video today, just going like, if you have nothing to relate to at all, then I genuinely question the bare minimum of a human being's life, where you should at least have a
You
supportive
deserve-
friend group.
Yeah, like you
Right?
deserve. Everyone deserves a friend group like that
Exactly.
at least some point in their life. But
Yeah.
It's so funny because like at my new job, like I met a guy and he loves everything nerdy. So when I met him, we were like talking about the Batman, we were talking about comic books and stuff like that.
Exactly.
I got him on a podcast that I was listening to, and it's like he told me like,
Was
bro,
it
like
this one?
nobody's into this stuff here, and like I just feel like it's so great that like I get to
Mhm.
talk about it at work. And
No,
that's
same.
that's cool for me because it's like great. I have a friend here that I don't feel fucking alienated.
Mhm.
But also it just makes me feel like okay, I can be myself. Like I don't have to like pretend to be somebody else. I don't have to like force
Yeah.
myself. I mean, I would have still been that guy anyway. I would have been talking about Marvel every single day to somebody somewhere.
Robbie Reyes.
Robbie Reyes, and they're like, "What are you doing here, Nick? Like, get out of here." I would have still been that guy. For me on this movie, like I was watching it with my fiance, and she was like relating to it like really heavily. She was going through the motions, like, because she's also really close with her mom, so this movie hit her really hard. For me, it was the dad. It's always the dad.
Dads.
It's always the
Yeah.
dad, and
God, love that.
it's
the dad club.
the dad club. Let's go. The part where like he's talking to her in the bedroom right before the ritual. I
God, I love
think
that.
that was like that hit me so hard. Like I just started tearing up immediately when he was like, "Oh, they fought over me." I was like, "Oh shit, that's my parents." Because my dad was not accepted when he first showed up. Did some questionable things back then. And it was like totally understandable, like why like my family would not be for it. But it like unlocked like a hidden memory in my mind. I was like, damn, like that was so emotionally impactful for me that like I just like I started thinking about my dad in that moment, and I was just like, it's so crazy that like this small detail, like this character who's literally coasted the whole movie and just comes in and gut punches me. Like
He gut punched me so many.
yeah, he gut punched me so hard. And it's like when you think about his character, right? Like all he does is care. He cooks. He tries not to be confrontational. He tries to just be supportive. He tries to make everybody happy.
The thing is, he doesn't do it in a way where he's a pushover either.
Yeah.
He's really good at listening.
Yeah.
He knows
and
when to
he
take a
wants
step back.
Exactly, which
Mhm.
is very important, especially in that situation where he's like, I know I can't add anything useful or
Mhm.
whatever to this conversation, but I can be there and I can listen and I can support my daughter in the things that she likes
Mhm.
and smile to see that she's having fun
Yeah.
being the panda and how she is with her friends and they are supportive of her, and it makes him smile and makes him laugh, and he's like, I need to let her know
Mhm.
that I love this part of her too. I love all of it, and especially too when he talks about the mom being a panda, he was very impressed
Yeah,
with her.
yeah.
You could tell that he loved her even as a panda as
Yep.
well, which is like exactly what the mom deserves as well.
It's so
100%.
and
like,
like even the last little end credits thing is like it's such a throwaway thing. It's supposed to be for humor. Him jamming out to Fort Town, but like I had dance parties with
Love
my
it.
dad to Britney Spears' Baby One More Time album because I wanted it and he bought it for me and
Oh.
he played it on the stereo and we had dance parties and I'm just like, exactly.
Yeah.
It's just,
Victoria, if there was a moment where Mei
Mm.
was dancing with her dad, would that have just completely broken you?
I
Yeah.
mean, making the dumplings was one enough.
I was gonna say.
Aw.
That was so funny that he was so good at
Actually,
picking.
that almost broke my mom. She went to they had like a tour where they were setting up the life-size red panda for
Yes.
May around the city. And she went to there and talked and she got some red lycees and
Oh,
stuff, so the
yes.
red pockets. She opened it up and they had all these, they're beautiful designs. They had Fort Town, her with her friends, Panda May, her and her mom. And the one with her dad is just them making dumplings together. And she
Aw.
almost started crying
Yeah.
because that was a memory for her too. So I was like,
I think y'all need to keep that one.
Yeah.
no, there's like a set of 5 in each. She got 5
Oh, okay,
sets,
cool.
so
Okay,
Nice.
that's perfect. That's perfect.
You guys
MVP. Your mom's the
MVP.
best.
Yo,
Victoria's
mom.
Mom is
and
the greatest
license
fan.
for each of y'all's Voices of Atlas crew. She's like, I got them. I told them about the podcast.
She's the secret fifth.
Oh
She's the
my
secret fifth
God.
member
Yeah.
of the Voices of
Yeah.
Atlas.
Ah,
She's a mom of
I love
Atlas.
All right. All right. Well, that's our
Laiba.
very slice of life
yeah.
out of that
But
movie.
I want to
Next
hear
take.
your thoughts because obviously I can talk a mile a minute on this.
I mean, just having it set in Toronto was amazing, and then just seeing the Timbits
I was gonna say I love
on
the
the
tidbits.
table.
Those tidbits on the table.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like
Apparently
when the mom puts
there
down
is
the
an
box,
error though.
Yes.
Yeah.
So like the mom
There's
puts
an
down
error
the
because-
balls, like the little balls with like sprinkles on
Yeah.
them,
Yeah.
and then like
I'm
when
curious.
Mace screams.
I'm curious, Laiba, what was the error with it?
The error was that this movie takes place in 2002, but
Confetti
Birthday
Timbits.
Cake Timbits weren't released in 2002.
Wow.
They came out way later.
That broke my immersion. This movie's
Yeah.
awful now.
Honestly, when we were looking at it, I was like, that's the birthday cake ones. And then back of my mind, the gears were turning.
I was
Yeah.
like, it didn't happen.
I'm just like,
I
was
pointed
it
it out,
vanilla
like, are those
dip? But
Timbits?
they didn't have vanilla dip.
What multiverse
Timbits.
shit is this?
Because the vanilla dip donuts is just vanilla
They would've had,
glaze
like,
with
the honey, yeah.
sprinkles.
They
But
should have just gone with
Yeah.
chocolate.
that wasn't a Timbit.
Yeah, they'd have like the assorted, like the powdered one with the strawberry
Oh yeah,
jelly.
we don't even have those anymore. Is that thing?
No, not anymore.
But
Nick's completely excluded from this Timbit
I
conversation.
do like the Timbits though, with the it being birthday cake because
Yeah.
that's my favorite flavor.
Yeah. But there's also like I would have killed to have a friend group like May's friend group when I was in elementary.
Okay.
Well, I had no friends. But what's
I had friends, but
just going back to like the aspect of like this friend group and how they aren't afraid to be nerdy with each other. They're not afraid to like thirst over boy
Boys.
bands and whatever. And it's so crazy to think that I found that friend group when I was just in post-secondary. Like I found that friend group who don't care like what I talk about. They don't care. Not that they don't care, is that they listen. They actually listen. And they want to
Yeah.
learn about stuff that I talk about. And another thing was just like her relationship with her mom. I was just like, there were so many moments where when I was watching it, I was like, ouch. I was like, that hurt. I was like, something the mom would say or something May would say. I was just like, that pierced my heart. But I think what I also like love about this movie is that when I was watching it, I think for the third time, I was like, wait, this kind of, instead of it being about emotions and like being free and like a coming of age, I think it really resonates with the fact that they were telling May to get like rid of her panda and to like compress it into something really small so it doesn't bother her anymore, is mental health.
Yeah.
So if you think about it, they constantly tell her that she has to get rid of her panda. She like, it's not normal for the family to keep their panda.
And they're baffled that she can control her
deal with
panda.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She has friends to talk to about it and friends that will support her, instead of having her mom or her grandma or her aunties, which I love the aunties,
The aunties.
but
I love the aunties.
telling her to, you know, just keep it inside, don't even address it, but to put it into something really small and never look at it again. So yeah.
I love that. I feel like for me, like on top of the stuff that like you guys all said, because everything, like I want to mention too that like I thought I had a friend group like that until looking back I think it kind of got dissolved around grade 7 or 8, which is around this time. But like looking back, I'm like, that was not a healthy friend group that I had when I thought I had a friend group like that.
Yeah.
Obviously, like a lot of my like close friends and stuff who I can feel like this around came much, much later, definitely into the university years, honestly, because it's hard to find your people. And if anybody's listening and you haven't found your people yet, it's fine. You'll find the people.
Look at us.
You really have to just
Honestly,
allow yourself to put yourself out there and trust yourself to get there. Because like, I mean, look at us now.
Yeah.
We have one of each member of the friend group right now.
We talk, all of us talk like every day.
Every
we all
single
talk
day.
every
Yeah.
single day.
I let these guys in on my personal life so much now as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, we know all the insider secrets. It's really great to like at any age to have a friend group like that. But obviously, I always made jokes that like, oh, this movie is basically about me. But oh my god,
This movie's about you.
I mean, down to all the little mannerisms. I was feeling nostalgic before I was watching the movie. I was like, oh, I want to find a picture of my Tamagotchi and stuff.
Yeah, you found it as the exact same one.
Yeah.
Same one. Like slapping herself and like looking at them. I do that. My boyfriend can attest. I just do that all my time.
I was like, oh my god, I had this clear image of Victoria when like Mei was drawing like the stuff, the anime boys.
Went back into
I love the photos. Like,
one of my Facebook albums. It's private now. Nobody can find it. But it was an album called Drawings by Me, and I think it was 2011, so I was 16,
right.
15, 16. And it was all pictures of Twilight art that I did. And all my little... Actually, if on my Redbubble, you can see some of the designs. I converted them to higher quality. All my little pixo art of like, screw Prince Charming, I want Edward Cullen to save me. All
That's
those...
so fun.
Was that they were even reading like a Twilight knockoff in
They
this.
were reading
They were,
Twilight.
yeah.
Oh my god.
What was it
Like
called?
Nightfall?
Nightfall.
Yeah.
Nightfall.
That's a pretty good name of the book.
Like the pose that they were standing in is just Priya be like, are you a werewolf? Like everything.
Priya definitely like reads fan fictions like daily.
Oh, yeah.
Like she's
Priya
writing
writes
fan fiction. Yeah, she writes fan fiction
She
like
Kamala
daily.
Khan's that shit.
She does. She like
Hell
does
yeah.
everything.
Her
just all the extra
and
stuff.
May definitely write fan fiction, or
Well, yeah.
May does the cover art for them.
There you go.
The
Yeah,
little drawings that they inserted.
that's Priya. Priya becomes the author whose fan fiction becomes a live action or live novel, and then becomes a movie. That's
Priya, the one who makes 50 Shades of Grey in their universe.
Yeah, it's like I don't know. It's 50 values of I don't know. 50 values of
50 values of red.
There you go. 50 values of red. Oh man, that sounds really. That sounds cool.
Real bad. That sounds real bad. But
I
but
just
like the thing that I liked the most was just the relationship with her mom.
Yeah.
And how they are so alike in so many different ways, but they're also so not alike in so many different ways. And they don't necessarily like the ways that they are very similar. Some of the time they're both very stubborn. I can see that through the thing. It's just like, oh, like I don't know, they have their way of doing things, and it's just like I don't want to like, but they don't want to disrespect each other. And then the way they interact and they watch like Chinese dramas together or whatever. Like I watch like so much like what Say Yes in the Dress and reality TV with my mom growing up, and it's like fantastic, and like we'd gossip about it and we'd have our things. But then like you reach that point, which is the whole turning point of the movie, is like they accept that they're not going to be the same, and they don't have the same goals, and whatever goals that the mom had on her are different, and their relationship just suddenly changes,
and they're scared of just drifting apart too, right? Which
and it's like I feel like anybody who's been in a mother-daughter-esque relationship, but I think it's pretty unique to moms and daughters, even if you don't identify as a girl later on. Like you have these moments where like that whole dynamic just changes like seemingly overnight, and it's just like how do we navigate this? How are we good about this? Like I know like definitely one for me is like when my mom started dating again, I'm like, whoa, like whole thing went upside down. It's like, how does this change about us? Like are we like what's going on? And I think that's relatable to so many people, because it is this like shift, and like especially too in like teenage girl, anybody with a lot of estrogen and female hormones, is like those emotions are big, and they are scary, and it's great to see also on screen like such openness too from the mom in otherwise maybe immigrant households might not experience, especially around like periods and stuff like that. It's just like ready to support you no matter what. Not especially, I love the fact that like Ming did not make her feel dirty about it, because that's like that's a way that like also society makes girls feel, as like periods are gross or whatever. And it's just like her mom was like, I came in clutch, I'll give you everything you need.
She was prepared.
It's a weird and confusing time, especially with honestly TMI. It's confusing and it's weird, and you don't know what to do with your body, especially when you have your first period. And like the fact that you kind of have to go to your mom and be like, this is happening to me.
Right.
What do I do?
What do I do?
That's one of the things like I think about like when I become a dad, right? If like my daughter gets to that point, it's like, well, how do I even handle this situation? Like it's different like talking to like adults about it, right? Because it's like we're adults, like we understand how the world works, but then you have to explain everything to like a child, and it's like, how do I interpret?
I think the best thing, like honestly, the way that Ming handled it. I mean, she was like, her personality type is a little bit in your face and
overbearing
kind of, like,
to some degree.
Overbearing to some extent, but like not in
like a negative way.
Intrusive
way,
but like I'm going to aggressively tell you I care about you way.
That's all my mom is.
Let me come to your school. And
like
bring you back.
Don't do that part, but like the beginning part is just like, you know what, like we got you.
Get
you all the supplies, you get to pick. Mom will probably tell you more about the inner workings because that might make you feel comfortable, but I'm here and I love you anyways.
I'll sit my daughter down and I'll just show her turning red.
When when she was late to work and the mom was like, oh my god, are you okay? Did you are you okay? Are you sick? Did you eat? I was like, those are literally all the questions that my mom asks me every time I show up. I'll say I'll be there at like 5 and I'll show up at like 5:30 and she's like, are you okay? You hurt? Did you eat? And I was like, I'm here.
Comes bowing out.
I'm here. I can always eat. When have I ever said no? But it's always like, I appreciate seeing those relationships like in social like not social media, but like I appreciate seeing those relationships in media because like we don't see a lot of that very much, especially from that younger girl aspect, right? Boys have tons, right? Boys have tons of coming of age movies, right? Which a lot of them fall into like toxic men stereotypes.
Yeah.
They're like, this is what being a man
And
is.
it's very centered. Yeah, it's centered around how to be a man, but
Isn't it?
also like sexual awakenings
Right.
in boys too, which
Yeah,
is like
yeah.
weird because like these girls are just crushing. They're like,
Right.
oh, maybe smooching, maybe,
you had said this
and it's just like they get sexualized immediately for it. And it's like, why?
Johnny had said like, okay, like don't. What did you say? Something about the cringy thing, right?
Yeah, don't
Yeah,
break
don't-
the part that cringes.
That don't break the cringe. No, don't get rid of the cringy part of yourself. Get rid of the part that cringes. Yeah.
Right. Like if like in similar stories like this, like for boys, it's like the nerdy part of you is something you get rid of. It's like, oh look, this is what's keeping you to be a child. Like you need to
Well,
get over
yeah.
it. You need to
I
grow up.
remember because like growing up is like I loved Ben 10, for example.
I
still
love
do.
Ben 10. Ben 10 is my
Okay.
favorite. Ben 10's the
I
best.
fucking love Ben 10. But I remember in elementary school and like I'm in grade 6 or 7 and everyone's just like, oh, you're like 12, you're 13 or whatever, and like you still like Ben 10. Like what's wrong with you?
Yeah.
It's very much that aspect that I resonate with, you know, because people are like,
Yeah.
you have to grow up. You can't just keep liking these kid things. And look at me now.
Yeah.
I still
you
work in a
need
comic
to-
store.
You need to find the people that will
Love and
That you
accept
have
you
that side of
for
you.
for
You are.
being nerdy, and it feels great once you find those people.
Mhm.
Because I have so many friends where I would talk about something, they'd be like, "Are you 5?
Yeah.
Like, why are you
Just
freaking out about Pokemon? Why are you
Let people
freaking out
like
about
things.
Spider-Man?" It's let people like things. Like
Yeah,
you don't know how
man.
great it feels when I'm like showing my friends Pokemons or playing Pokemon Go with my friends or showing my friends
The
who doesn't even play
Pokemons.
Pokemon. Like it's
Yeah.
great. Like
Gotta.
just
People
yeah.
have their fun.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Exactly.
that.
or when you.
I think I was gonna say one other thing that resonated with me too in the film is when it comes to like one of the like that climax too where everything like May's whole scheme is breaking down and Tyler intentionally throws out like, let me say
Oh,
something
oh.
racially charged
Mhm.
because I
Mhm.
know it will hurt you.
Well, shit.
And also like making it seem like, let me other you a little bit by
Mhm.
saying like, you're a freak for doing things or being a part of this culture that I like not everyone else is a part of. Oof. Because kids are little shits.
Bro, kids are
Yep.
wild.
Kids are little
Kids
shits,
will
and
literally
they
tear
are
you the fuck
not-
apart.
But they are not dumb.
Yeah.
And they know how to do that. And I feel like probably that's something we've all experienced to some extent, unfortunately.
Mhm.
People saying your food smells weird, right?
Or
Yeah.
just looking different or just like
Doesn't look
othering you in
good.
some way. And it's
Yeah.
and they'll also bring it up and like sometimes it's not intentional, but sometimes I look back on a memory. Like I always bring up the one where it's just like Halloween and me and my white friend is dressed as Hannah,
Hannah
Montana,
Montana.
and it's just like, oh yeah, like I look better as Hannah Montana because I look like her, and it's just like
That was rude.
You wish.
you didn't need to say
Say
that.
that. Right.
But,
I
like,
already
you
say that
chose
myself.
to,
I
but,
didn't
like,
need you to say it out loud.
Yeah.
Exactly. Kids are little shit. So like that was like a moment that's like that's going to happen,
Mhm.
and that is
Yeah.
something a unique experience if you're not grown up in a white area.
Yeah.
I would say.
It's a struggle out here, people.
However, speaking
When
of
you're
that,
not
though,
white.
I absolutely love the multiculturalism that we saw in this film as well.
Yeah.
Because we saw people
Okay,
wearing
so-
hijabs and all that.
So this is something very unique because I did most of my schooling in Ottawa, and then I finished high school in Toronto,
Mm.
and that multiculturalism is so accurate to Toronto.
Yeah.
Like I mean, the school,
100%.
like I mean, it's not my school, but like it looks kind of similar in a way. It's like in a old building, well, still in downtown Toronto and stuff. But I went from maybe 4 of 5 Asian kids for my grade.
Mhm.
So it's only like a small handful. Again, like only a small handful of brown kids and black kids, and like that didn't know anybody who wore hijabs in Ottawa. Moved to Toronto. I actually met other mixed people for the first time, other Asian people. My friends looked like a similar group. Like we had a number of different Asian people, and there's white people there as well. And it's like it was so much more diverse.
Mhm.
If people like, if anybody's trying to post like, oh my god, that's woke culture, no, that's Toronto.
Mhm.
Toronto
That's,
looks
that's
like
our
that.
reality.
That
Yeah.
is an accurate representation of Toronto.
Mm-hmm.
Like you'll hear all sorts of different languages. You'll see all sorts of different faces and how people present themselves, and it's like freaking amazing.
Yeah,
I love that.
it's good. The movie's great, everybody.
Also, that makes me really happy that it's set in Toronto, because that makes that so much more realistic as well.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I loved it.
All right.
So that's how we resonated with it.
Yeah.
What got us most emotional though?
Oh,
Because
I-
I have a specific spot, but
I do like I the one like off thing that like it didn't hit me like emotionally, but like I did like the tokusatsu vibe because the mom was this huge
Mom
red
just
panda,
being Godzilla.
and I was like, she's a kaiju. This is the best.
there
I
were
think I
so
said
many
that.
anime and like
Yeah.
Asian
Oh yeah.
references in it,
Yeah.
down to like how they painted the skyline after like
Right down to
Yeah.
the
But, like,
besties assemble.
that was
The Power Ranger sequence, the transformation sequence.
Oh,
Oh my
I
God, the
was
Sailor
living for
Moon.
it. I was yeah.
there
Bro.
was
Did
like
you get tagged
She-Ra
with that
and stuff
video?
in there too.
Oh man, it was so cool. Like it's that like it's those moments I appreciate because it's like that's a piece of me in there because I love
Yeah.
that stuff. I love that stuff all the time. Angelica really loved it because it's a reminder of like Sailor Moon. It reminded me of Power
Yeah.
Rangers, which essentially
All
are
of
the
stuff
same
we
thing.
had.
I don't know, it's
All of the stuff that we grew up with. That was one thing I noticed. I'm just like, oh, all these women are fairly young,
yeah.
who are making this movie, because you can really tell they grew up in
Yeah,
the early
in the-
2000s,
They had
especially as an
Tamagotchis.
Asian girls in early 2000s.
Yeah.
When the aunties came through, I was like,
Oh my
damn.
God.
I love that.
I got a
One
visceral.
of
I felt so like I felt my heart sink into my stomach because I've definitely
Where
had those
the
moments.
aunties. Oh
Yeah.
my God.
Oh,
My-
Yeah, but you said the face cream.
Oh my god,
Yes.
my aunt. When my aunt comes through the door, she is the loudest person ever.
Dude, same.
She starts just echoing the house, and I'm just like, oh man, Auntie Mia's here. I gotta go do the whole thing. Gotta go answer like a bunch of questions. Be told I don't eat enough, but also be told I look a little fat.
Too fat.
Like,
Yeah.
Right.
You look
See,
like
I
your
just get
mom,
told
but
I
you
look
like
fat.
Your dad. You look so skinny.
You know, the whole shebang, the whole experience is there.
All that.
Oh
I
man,
love it. Was it or was at least I don't know if you guys are, but I'm friends with Forever NPC on TikTok, and him and I kept sending stuff about it. It was like, why is this so real? Especially, and it was all centered around the aunties specifically.
They got the
Because I
answers on
have
the nail.
exactly 5 aunties as well.
They all look drastically different, yet they all look the same. Like,
Yes.
If I were to show you all 5 of my aunties, it would be the
they
exact
all
same
look
vibes.
the exact same. Yeah,
All of them have the same haircuts too. Last time I checked.
it's so funny. God,
Oh god.
I feel exposed.
Yeah, on the aunties, I was like trying to like figure out like why there's so many aunties, but I was just like, actually no, I was like, oh, they're probably actually born before one child policy, but I'm just like, they were speaking Cantonese. They're from Hong Kong.
Yeah.
They're
Like,
from Hong Kong.
I know.
They're from
know.
HK.
They again,
They're Honkanese.
but like,
Exactly. It's Victoria.
I was just like, oh, I love it, especially the squad of aunties rolling up.
With the sunglasses. The only thing missing was
my
just
God.
like the visors.
I wanted
The purses, the way they were holding their
Oh, just
purses.
the knockoff Birkin bags. I love
Yeah.
it. But you know what? Laiba, what was your most emotional moment?
I have 2. My first one was the moment where so she's in her room and her room is completely bare, and then you just see
Oh
her
my
parents
God,
are like working
yeah.
around the house, and you can hear her like
Oh,
struggling and just like banging herself against the wall and just being so upset that she can't like keep this under
She's
control.
like punishing
So that
herself
part, like,
too.
yeah, she was like, yeah, literally punishing herself, and she was obviously like with her parents telling her to keep the panda in. It just, I don't know, it like hurt me.
No, same.
It hurt me
Same.
because she was so alone in her room, and she
Yeah.
had no one, and she was throwing herself against the wall, and she was crying, and I was just like, reminds me of middle school.
But she like also like she felt like she couldn't feel those emotions either, or else
Yeah.
it made her more upset.
It made her more upset, and then yeah,
The friends come in.
and yeah, and then her friends come in. But my other moment was it was the moment where they were in like the bamboo forest,
Oh, I think I know what
and
you're
she
going to
was
talk about.
talking to her mom.
That's my
Oh my
moment.
Yeah, I think that
And the
was
mom was crying. I was like, this is ugly crying.
yeah, that was definitely
That one broke
the
me.
peak moment for me where I just from that moment on I just cried through to the end of the credits.
When I like popped in when you were live on TikTok, where was that? Was that the forest scene?
Yeah. So that was
Yeah.
when she's talking to her mom.
Yeah, no, I
Yeah.
popped
And
into
like her mom's
Victoria's
like a
live.
teenager.
On
Oh,
my
yeah.
TikTok, I don't know exactly where you popped.
I just
in,
remember it
but-
was like, "Hi Nick," and I was like, "Ah."
You know what? If you'd like to find out, go rewatch Turning
I
will,
Red
yeah,
I'll
on
go watch it.
Streamlabs.
Honestly, it's probably that moment, but it was just like a
That or was the dumplings.
acceptance too of like so many of us like we teach our parents so much as well,
Yeah.
and just like May accepting like it's okay. I more than understand that feeling the need to be perfect and to kind of like not waste this opportunity that we have like moving to Canada and having this different life
Right.
for ourselves and stuff, because that's like a big thing of like that's where the expectation of like, oh, like Asian parents expect you to be like doctors or lawyers or anything that
To give
makes
back.
a lot of money.
Exactly.
It's because you need to
You need to
make
take care of your
something.
family yourself as well.
yeah
In some ways.
and make sure you're successful yourself. And it's just
Mhm.
like her telling her mom that like I also understand, but it's okay.
Yeah.
Nobody's like it sounds like such an easy thing that nobody's perfect, but like until you tell yourself that
Yeah.
Well,
it's really rough. And then it gets to the point where they and also the aunties and the grandma, which I think is a really great move. It's just like she is going to break free from that generational trauma, and I took it as a sort of metaphor of like her embracing her Western side.
Right.
I can imagine May probably was either came to Canada very young or was born in Canada and very
Yeah.
accepting of like her Canadian cultural aspects.
I think she was born because when they told the story of the red panda, I think they said that like once they came to like this side
This-
of
so they came to the West.
they were like,
Yeah.
oh, we need to change like what we're doing. We can't just like show everybody
Yeah,
that we
I
do
can
this.
imagine it was either there's probably the grandma or
Yeah.
somebody who came.
Yeah.
Yeah, that transition
But,
definitely exists now.
Yeah, so it's just like everybody also accepting and acknowledging that like she's choosing something different. She's
Yeah.
choosing to feel stuff in a different way, and
Right.
deal with it in a different way, and especially that like last scene of like I think we're going to be drifting apart, and it's just like you probably will.
I'm scared.
Yeah.
You'll come back and it'll be waves and flows, but it's just especially having been through that where you drift apart and you come back and you might not always get along, but like you still love each other at the end of the day. And what I don't know, like a trait that my mom has and I have, and we utilize it differently, or I don't like it and she embraces it. It's just like it really hit.
Yeah.
No,
in
I
such
feel
a
that.
way where I just started bawling. And then like the second thing that really made me cry was when it was over. I was just like, I couldn't believe this movie was made.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I could have never imagined having because like I didn't really think about media too much until it started becoming like I could see myself in media because what was it for? Like it was just pure entertainment. I didn't quite understand everything, and it's just like, how did we get to the part where like this movie I feel so much about, and I can see it helping so many young girls and teens growing up. Like it was like I'm so happy it
Yeah.
exists.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At the
The
back.
fact it took this long, though, is
Yeah.
boggles my mind that
Yeah.
it took this long.
That's pretty crazy.
Because I feel like if I was in middle school or even elementary school, I would have died seeing this movie. Like,
Yeah.
it would have made me so happy.
Well, that's an aspect that I think is a positive to this, is that I feel like this film has very much inspired not just us, but like who knows who else is out there, right?
Mhm.
To help further push this, to help push our stories along, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's
It's
that.
it's the backlash from this movie too. It's like, oh, like this is inappropriate for children. It's like, no, it just seems like you don't want to do your job, and this movie's
You
doing
just
your
don't
job
want to.
for
Yeah.
you. Which again, like us boys, like we've had coming of age films forever, right?
Yeah.
The most memorable one is Stand By Me, right? Have you ever watched Stand By Me? Have any of you guys ever watched
No.
Stand
I
By
have
Me?
not. No.
It's about 4 little boys in like the 60s or 70s, and they go on an adventure. Not an adventure. They just go into the woods to go see a dead body.
They
there's-
Logan Balled it.
yeah, it's but it's like a coming of age story about these kids who like become men, right? But there's a lot of violence. There's a lot of sexual inappropriateness. Like that movie's fine. I've always been told like, yeah, that's a good
That's
movie.
okay.
Yeah, like that's a good movie. Because
it's completely age appropriate.
yeah, and it's like, well, hang on, but this one isn't. Like, it doesn't make any sense.
Let's be honest
It's
here.
animated.
Yeah.
It's a very specific demographic that's not okay with it.
Yeah, and it's like just because you don't want to talk to your kids, that's not an excuse why you think like this movie
or
should
you don't
exist.
want to try to empathize with women. Just
Exactly.
Just
little
say
bit.
so, man. Let me
Like,
know.
It
So
really
I can
boggles
just
my
walk
mind 'cause,
away.
Like, there is like I've also had so many comments of people who's like, I'm just like a 40-year-old white man, and I completely got this. Like,
Yeah.
I understand. Like, and it's like why are they so loud too?
I don't
against
know,
this
man.
movie? And it's just,
Dude, my
It's
dude
like-
broke last.
nothing is very crazy about this movie.
What's up, Matt Murdock?
either. They
Well,
don't,
Matt
like,
Murdock,
oh,
when'd you get here?
she's fantasizing about boys. This is like
Yeah,
You
she
were
goes
also-
Aruga.
Oh my god, that was so funny. I was like classic like 80s cartoon. That
Freaking
was so
Looney
funny.
Tune shit there.
She like
Oh, man.
tapping her butt, and she goes Aruga.
I thought the
You
tapping of the
also have,
foot was like a
the
panda thing.
Like also like as cringy as it is to be May in that moment where Ming was like goes to confront Daisy Clark
Oh
guy.
god, yeah.
The second
I
round
was dying
of
of
embarrassment for her.
huge. But like
Holy shit.
imagine having a mom. Like what if that was actually like that is like even though it's cringy and like the mom could have trusted her and saying like no it's just I just have this crush on this boy. It's just like
Yeah.
having like a mom who's just like I will not put up with my daughter getting inappropriately like
Entangled with the
entangled with
30-something-year-old
or something.
Oh my god, I
apparently.
was like, when I watched that scene, I was like embarrassed, but also at the same time,
Like,
like
that's
I
a
understood
pretty
the mom,
good-
especially like in this current day and age. It's like I don't know jack shit what these kids are talking about these days, and I am not gonna
But like
like.
she also knows men are scary.
Yeah, men are.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's the thing.
Especially
Scary.
to young girls.
Like,
It's-
Men are dumb.
I can imagine if I had a daughter, I'd fucking beat someone's ass. Like it's just like don't even look at my kids.
but it's
Don't
just, like,
let.
but like her first question is like, did he touch you? Did he
Yeah.
like hurt you inappropriately? Like hurt
Yeah.
anything? It's just like that.
Did he do any of this to you?
That's something y'all with kids you need to teach them. It's
Yeah.
just like you need to
Exactly.
be ready to
Have these
ask
conversations.
those questions
Yeah.
too.
It's wild.
We live in a fucked up world, but like you need to like be like
I think that was
I'm
like
ready to support you.
what was so great about that moment. It's like you understood
Defend you.
both sides of that situation.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
like, damn,
Exactly.
I fucking hate that, but also I would be the mom. Like I
Like-
would be that mom.
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly. Like if that happened to me, I would have been so embarrassed if
Right.
like my mom saw text that I was
drawing?
sending to a
No.
drawing or
Ugh.
whatever. Because when you're 13, you can fantasize about boys, and that's another thing where people are like, "Oh, it's completely inappropriate." How is it inappropriate? You're a 13-year-old girl. You can fantasize
She's-
about whoever you want.
How much do you know what your
Yeah.
kids do? That's a better
Also
question.
fawning over like little
True.
boy bands and stuff. Those are like the most like golden retriever of crushes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that
also
line.
know- I was gonna say, like, I also know a lot of people who didn't have like supervision, or they'd go behind their parents' back, especially
Yeah.
fuck Kick. I also know where they're located. But Kick is like a lot of
Yeah.
kids get groomed early, and it's
Yeah.
that reaction is not over the top.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I've
Gross.
heard horror stories, to say the least.
It's gross.
Yeah.
And like having a protect like you need to have those conversations with your kids, and you might need to be ready to do that. Like
Mhm.
the fact that she's crushing over boys isn't crazy, and the fact that she likes boy bands isn't crazy. But like you gotta be prepared in
Yeah.
this online world we're living in.
Especially now,
Folks.
everything's like moves way too fast. Like things
Yeah.
happen like
It's
way
hard to
faster
keep
than
track.
they need to be. Yeah. I think I already said my emotional moment for that. It was when the dad, like, they
Yeah.
had the
Yeah.
moment in
Mhm.
the bedroom with the dad. I other than that, like, I think the forest scene is the biggest hard hitter. Like when you see her, like a younger version of herself. Which I kind of questioned. I was like, why? Like, why show like a younger version of herself? And I just felt like it was like one of those things. Like maybe I'm just not getting it because I'm not. This isn't like this moment isn't for me. But I the closest thing I can relate to that is like, you know, when I saw my dad, I don't see my dad as like a kid. You know, like he's not my age. Like he doesn't get what I'm
Mhm.
going through. And you know, recently people have like told me stories about him when he was younger, and my dad was a little shit. My dad was as big a little shit as I was,
Dude,
right?
I got
And
stories for you.
yeah, and it's one of those things where it's like I feel closer to him knowing that like he wasn't always the guy who had like every single answer. He wasn't always the guy that had this or that. Like he didn't always have it together. He got his foot stomped out by a horse one time, and like that's because he was being dumb, and it's just like it's comforting. Like I can like that I can relate. I've never had
Yeah,
my
my
foot
dad
stomped out by
got
a
hurt.
horse. But you know, it's like one of those things. It's like, yeah, you know, like they're not perfect. Like parents try to be perfect all the time.
Yeah.
And it's a hard battle. Like when you're a parent and you're a kid. Like I'm not a parent yet, but I can imagine it's like your kid. You want your kid to look at you like you're their hero, right? And then when that starts to fall apart, like what do you do then? You know, like where do you go from there? Like I already know like once I have a kid, that's gonna be my entire life. Like that, my entire life dynamic will shift, and feeling that is something that like I can't imagine yet. You know, so having
I
that
think
moment in the forest is like really deep and really hard.
Yeah.
I like how you put it. It was like you don't see your parent as someone your own age or who was like you once.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like I feel like it hit because it's like it's comforting to May and her mom to be like, no, they've gone through the exact same things, the same family expectations, the same cycle, and deep down, like yeah, her mom doesn't know everything, and that's something like if you watch the behind the scenes, like some of the execs are parents and some aren't. Or like it's you kind of have to fake it till you make it, and you have to put on this strong front. So it just kind of shows like is also healing Ming's inner child,
Right.
while also taking as a lesson to also help become a better parent for her own. Because if she doesn't heal that, like she has to forgive herself, and she knows she didn't try to hurt her mom, because that outlash isn't always physical. It's not physical most of the time. It is an exchanging of words in the heat of an argument, like not approving of a boyfriend that you want to marry or somebody, and it's just like that emotional scar. And you didn't mean to do it, but you got to forgive yourself, and like you know that you're not going to be perfect.
Yeah.
And it's
Johnny, what did I say yesterday about the Adam Project? Like the movie, I felt like the movie was written by someone who had not lost a father.
Yep.
Yeah, it's
Word for word.
Yeah, it's like that when you said like fake it till you make it. Like you can tell, like you can definitely tell the difference, like where these voices and stories are coming from, and having that like mother daughter relationship, having that father son relationship. It's like when I watched the movie.
Having the people on the team who like relate to May and having the people on the team who relate to Megan. It's just like
Yeah. And it's just like I can tell this isn't made with genuinity. I can tell like there's something missing here.
Yeah.
I'm not dead on the
it's
floor.
not a passion project.
Yeah,
Like,
there's
This is pure passion.
Yeah.
At its finest. To
you
say
can
the least.
feel it. Like you know the
Yeah.
difference.
and I
like
think it transitions really well into our next topic of like you can feel who was writing the story and like the behind the scenes representation
Mhm.
in addition to on screen, because like that saying about the Adam Project, this is like, yeah, it doesn't feel like somebody who lost their desk because they probably didn't.
Yeah.
And it wasn't a passion project. It was probably a good, honestly, it feels like it was a book. Was it a book?
I don't know what it was.
Oh,
I
It's
don't know.
Let's Google it.
It wouldn't
real quick.
surprise me if it was a book. It felt like something that was a concept and they're like, yeah, let's make it because it'll make money and we'll.
Yeah, I mean it was a fun movie, but like again, like going back to Turning Red, like it's
Was not a book.
seeing like the stark difference in narrative and like beats and details, like you know, like that is different. Like you know, it's different. You know, it's not even just like the daughter mother dynamic, just like the cultural aspects. Knowing that the people who made this did grow up into that like the early 2000s, it's like you for a lot of us that might feel very familiar, right?
Yep.
But like these younger kids are like, what the fuck is a Tamagotchi, right? Like what the hell is
$40 now.
Yeah.
Don't
God.
remind me.
Yeah, like what the hell is a
So
Tamagotchi?
bad.
There
What
is
is
an
that
R2D2
thing she
one that I
pulled out of
want.
her bag? What's a mixtape? You know, like what is that? Like what are those things?
What's a CD?
What's a CD? Or like what are these? What's this rip off BTS? You know, like people
What
like
are these
there's
phones with just only like what is it?
Oh my god,
freaking
the way that they would text on the phone.
12
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
there was like halfway through, I was like, how are they keeping this a secret? Like she's a giant red panda. It's because the internet is not as accessible. And
Exactly.
it's one of those like crazy. I always find it funny like when writing stories, it's like how the fuck do I deal with the internet? Like how does something happen and someone doesn't know immediately like 5 minutes later? It kind of sucks. It's really great to have these period pieces, especially in like the early 2000s where like not a lot of movies exist, which is makes me feel old because it's like, okay, that's a period piece, early 2000s. And it's like, okay, yeah, they can keep a secret that she's a giant red panda from her mom because the internet is not a real thing. It's like one of those small details that adds to like, yeah, the only person who would know that are people who grew up there, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it's those things like people who live those experiences. You get to see their stories and it just feels way better, you know? You feel very justified in watching it.
Yeah. It's just oh my god. I do kind of love that though. Specifically because I recently found out that I am still older than Google. Because if you're born before
Duh.
August of '98, you're older than Google. So yeah.
No, I'm older than Google then.
Yeah, 3 of us in here are.
I liked how
Younger than
diverse
Google.
the friend group was. That was
Yeah.
great.
Oh my god, yes. I
Yeah.
love that Abby spoke Korean too.
Yeah.
Right.
That was so
she's
fun.
like apparently the first Korean in
Pixar?
I don't know, at least Pixar.
Oh wow,
I think,
that's cool.
which people are very excited about.
I don't know who her actor was, but Angelica was saying that like if we ever had a Cindy Moon, I think she'd be a good fit for her. I don't know.
She actually was a part of the production team.
Oh really?
Yes.
Oh, that's cool.
I love that so much.
Yeah.
But yeah, the
And
diversity.
she's so cute and she's totally me.
She's ready
Laiba.
to
The
fangirl.
energy was Laiba.
She gives dump him
Yeah.
vibes.
Yes.
And
But she also has that aggressiveness that we love. And she also feels like someone who would definitely go, I can fix him.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I made that post the other day and it's just like, well, Laiba, Abby, same person, Bucky Stan, Priya, definitely an Age of Ultron goth Wanda stan. But I love also how they were very passionate about like relevant environmental topics like save the planet and all
Yeah.
that stuff too. I'm just like they would care about the whitewashing and they're all fangirls, so like
Right.
yeah, they would love Miss Marvel. But like
Yeah.
the diversity there. We also had Priya and Tyler wasn't white either, and it's
Yeah.
like the boy band Four Town. Usually they're all just white guys, or it's a K-pop group, so it's all Korean guys.
I
and
did
it's-
like how they capitalized on the white people who were like fangirling over the Red Panda, because like they were like the
Yeah.
first.
Yeah.
Like, the it's like
all
wow.
white
about
girls?
that hustle.
They're
But
so
yeah,
easily
the blonde
pleased.
girls,
They're just so easily pleased. Let's at least make some money.
I think they also had a few bait and switches in too with some of the different tropes. Like they thought, like from the trailers, I thought she was maybe going to be a main girl.
Oh
Because
yeah.
like you have that, and you also get Tyler where like he is mean to May and the
Yeah.
girls.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, at first I fell for it too. It was like, oh, maybe he had a crush on one of them. No, he's
just jealous.
They were right. He's just Tyler's an insecure jerkwad.
Yeah.
Yep.
And words were exchanged.
Yeah.
And he was insecure because he didn't want to be like liking something that traditionally girls like.
Mhm.
Yep.
And it's like fair. And somebody mentioned too was like, oh, he likes Aaron Z because he also plays basketball, and that's why he likes basketball. Like, this is
That one
adorable.
right there.
Yeah.
What's
Fanboy.
everyone's favorite Four Town song?
Ah,
Because I have mine.
I think it's just the one. I don't know. I've only heard the one.
the main one.
Yeah, the main
I
one.
like
That
the
one's really
hustle
good.
one.
I think
too.
the main one's for me.
Yeah.
The main one's really good, but the hustle one, I'm like, you gotta work. And she's like running up those kids, getting $1. I'm like, you go, girl.
No, but you know, the Backstreet Boys are really big in the Philippines for some reason.
Yeah,
They
definitely
still
Like
are.
now.
I think. Well, I don't know now, but like I remember hearing that a couple years ago.
I
like,
know
they were
back
still,
then, yeah.
they were like huge in the Philippines.
I love that.
It's so
Yeah.
funny.
My favorite was One True Love.
Oh,
I
really?
don't know. I've been listening.
Okay,
It's just
okay.
so like
Yep, yep.
classic. Like
Okay.
That's the one that starts with heavy rain.
Yeah.
like it gives me like As Long As You Love Me vibes.
Yeah.
Backstreet Boys.
It does.
Oh
Though
man.
that was something where that kind of bothered me a little bit when I was posting. We're like, oh, like these like the 4tan members, and so many people commented immediately like, I already know Jesse's gonna be my favorite. I'm like, he's the only white one.
He's the only white one. This is weird.
He's the only white
I
one.
think-
Also a DILF.
Most of our critiques for this movie are like not really about the movie. It's more just like the reception.
The assholes
for the
around it.
movie.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, the critiques aren't really it's just like it's the assholes. It's like, why Jesse?
Yeah.
Why?
The white boy.
Weird.
He doesn't
Why
even
the white
sing.
boy? And some people
So
like, oh, he
strange.
reminds me of Jim, and I'm like, he's the white boy. So many people like the white boy for what? Like, how do
Come
you
on.
already know he's gonna be your favorite? It's because he's white.
Yeah. It's weird,
And
man.
like, it was it made me like weird. Like people like praising like Phineas, Billie Eilish, like
God, yeah.
I mean, like Jordan Fisher also very talented, and then like Ludwig, whatever, who does the
Ludwig
score.
Göransson.
I'm like, those are all not Asian people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do wish that they didn't have like as much as I love Billie Eilish and Phineas, I think they should have had like
Yeah.
an
They-
Asian.
I
they
don't
were
like Billie Eilish, period. So
Go
Yeah.
to the Shang-Chi soundtrack, and you can find
Take some
Nikki!
notes, dog.
yeah, Nikki.
Even
Brian
like,
Rich.
I don't know how to pronounce it, but she's on TikTok, like Monsoon,
Mhm.
like MX Tune or whatever. How
Yes!
to pronounce it. Like, she could have wrote some bops.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
There's so many Asian artists they could have chose instead of.
I would
like,
have loved if Nikki had a son in this. Just saying.
Yeah.
Freaking love Nikki.
There's
Idiot
so many
Rising.
talented people. I'm like, that seems like a missed opportunity, especially like there's a German composer.
Okay, I do stand by Ludwig though, only because I'm a giant Childish Gambino fan, and
No,
Ludwig
he did a great
composes
job,
a lot of
especially with a
Gambino
lot
songs.
of the Asian influences there too. But
Oh,
I'm just
yeah.
like, they could have.
Could
They could have
tried
had
more.
some
Yeah,
actual
sure.
Asian
Always more.
voices in there.
Though Conan Grayson, he plays Taeyong.
Mhm.
He's adorable, and he's on TikTok. So like, I give it.
Oh.
Go give him a follow, because
Yeah.
I will.
it's he's adorable. Just go to my
Yeah.
following list and you'll find him.
But again, like most of what I've voiced my like opinions about it. I haven't talked a lot about Turning Red on it because it's like
we've talked. You and I have talked.
yeah, you and I
a
have
lot
talked about it. But like online, it's like what else do I have to? I'm like a man. This movie, like what voicing opinion do I have other than like my connection to the father? It's like there's really nothing like I can add that someone else can't of greater value do in my place. So I've just been reposting your videos. I've been posting Marmar's videos. Any like Asian creators I see.
I wish I could repost your videos more, but you just only come up on
yeah.
following.
Okay, it's so weird. Can TikTok add reposting to like all the other feeds? Like it doesn't make any sense why it can't be on following. That's so stupid. But yeah, it's like I don't know what to add to the conversation. It's just like I feel like really weird about it. And Vicky, you and I have talked about this, where it's like the recentering of the conversation around this movie and the core values of this movie is frustrating, right?
Yeah,
and it's like
I read that whole conversation you guys had.
It's not new either because it also happened with Encanto.
Yeah.
Like,
and I can say this because I am Latino.
You are
and Asian.
Latino.
It's the same exact thing. People, like specifically white people, want to recenter this whole movie about what they're concerned about, what they think this movie is about,
what
and
they
it's just
can relate to.
Yeah. And it's like it's great, but like you are shifting the main focus of what this movie is really at its core meant to be. The overshadowing conversations about other topics, like I can't even be a part of those. I can't. I'm just not intersectional enough for those conversations, and it's just I have to just sit back and do nothing because like
which is frustrating.
It's just frustrating, yeah. And you know, like Vic,
and I've been doing a lot of like that emotional labor on it because what it is a lot of specifically white queers. People in the queer community have been trying to recenter it about them and fighting tooth and nail, especially over the only non-Asian character in the friend group, which is Miriam, which people
sadly me.
We love Miriam.
Miriam
Miriam's great.
is like the great. She's the I'm on the nose. I'm going to be a supportive friend.
Yeah,
but people will refuse to let people see it as just that.
Yeah.
Like I'm part of the queer community. I understand headcanoning because there is no explicit queer representation.
Especially
and why I think it's such a hot topic right now is because of the Don't Say Gay and the letter that the Pixar employees said they had to cut explicitly queer scenes. And they lashed onto Miriam. Even though Priya had her little moment in the party scene with Goth Girl, which is really cute. But like the fact that there's so much argument just on Miriam, and even in all my videos, I'm like, you can think whatever you want. You can headcanon it all you want, but it's distracting and it's detracting from so many more important themes. Like this isn't a coming out story. People say like, but they're all gay and this and that. It's just like,
that's fine that you think that, and it's fine like, that you resonate with that idea.
Your friend group is very much like their friend group. That's great. It feels a little weird too. It's like also they are very boy crazy. I mean, obviously there's a lot of things going on there and a lot of hetero comp and stuff that like a lot of girls are boy crazy before they know they're not. But like the main point of the movie is having a supportive friendship and friend group who will love you no matter what, and your like relationships in with your family and stuff is changing, and puberty and womanhood and stuff like that. It's just like there's so much there that they can also talk about and relate to.
And like I understand fighting a stigma. I understand like, oh yeah, like if everyone's gay, like it's still fine. Like everyone's queer, it's still fine. Yeah. I understand fighting that stigma, but it is like
don't assume them like all straight. Don't assume them all gay. But it's just like
that's not what this movie's about, you know. Like, and it's like when I talked about Gilgamesh and Athena, right? Like everyone's like, well, we want more platonic relationships, right?
Okay, yeah, great. Can we not have that though with mixed race couples?
Yeah,
though?
exactly. And it's like that's like there's like a lot of fights you gotta pick, right? And it's like I will stand on the ground like I want more Asian representation to have romantic relationships in movies.
Mhm.
If I had people like fighting to the tears, like no platonic relationships between men and women, I was like, okay, but like, what do I fight for then? Like, what are the parts of me that I get to fight for? And it's like I'm not intersectional enough to have those conversations about like the queer representation in that movie, but it is like it feels very similar in Encanto, where like it's not just queer people, it's white queer people that make it feel like you are trying to make this movie about something that
insert and center
Exactly.
yourself.
Yeah.
Is really what it is.
I should not see as many videos about Miriam as I've seen about Mei Mei, you know? And
Exactly.
it's like
and it's all about how Miriam is, and like the
Ex-
relationship is like the core of the movie, but one of their main arguments, and I will say it is a really just a part of probably ignorance on their part, that they didn't grow up in a household that isn't white.
Right.
But when you have things where the dad, the grandma didn't approve of Jin, the dad, being in a romantic relationship with Ming, arguments ensue. Obviously, there's always these levels of are they good enough and stuff, and they compare that Ming doesn't like Miriam as a friend. But those are two different
dynamics.
To me, like
Those are
they
very
say like,
different
oh,
dynamics.
these are
They're the
direct
same.
parallels. But you can you can find parallels there, but especially that's something we can relate to in non-white households. It's like there's a little bit of culture caution.
Yeah, you have to like be
especially
aware of.
against the white friends.
Oh,
They
yeah.
are seemingly more lenient. Parents, like, where are
The
your
fact that her parents
Where
said,
are
"Yeah,
your
you can
clothes?
go. You just gotta
As long
find the
as you
money."
pay
I was like,
for it."
What?
Yeah.
I was like, that's crazy.
That was so accurate. It's just like, yeah, the mom doesn't care or whatever. Like, she just had to pay for it.
Yeah.
Like, it's like,
What is it? When
The only problems you guys got to deal with.
when me and Laiba watched, what is it? What did we watch? Devil All the,
The
Time.
Devil All the Time.
There was
Yeah.
no people of color in that movie, right? And it's
Nope.
like there were so many different aspects, like dynamics of like mental health and stuff like that. And I was like, this works because like everybody in this movie is white, and all of these arguments exist in a vacuum. Like there is no cultural
Exactly.
like nuance that I have to think about because like they're all white. I don't have to worry about it. Like it sucks
Exactly.
that they are all white, but the fact that that doesn't exist, it's like I can really focus on the mental health issues of this movie.
Yeah.
Not like
Yeah.
this is like a totally like intersexual conversation. Like there's so many factors at play. You can't just chalk it up and be like, oh, parallels, look at
they're
that.
parallels, they're perfect.
The parallels are perfect.
Obviously, like
The
the mom doesn't approve
friends.
of Miriam, so and they are all touchy-feely and whatever, and she spends extra attention to like May. It's like obviously they have a romance or like unsaid, or they're crushing on each other, or the way they look at each other is like
Usually
they
just
look
a
at
good
it,
friend.
they care.
I think
But also like the main thing for me is like, because like they're lacking that culture caution and everything, to refuse that people might be prejudiced against them. But it's the fact that like that's not the heart of the story. It's not May trying to get her mom's approval to be friends with Miriam.
yeah.
Like that I could see. Like it was like, okay, maybe it's a parallel, but like it's a throwaway line of that. It's like this is something that sparked the argument. And yeah, the mom is like, oh my god, like Miriam represents like this Western idea of her daughter shifting away and not being dutiful daughter and distracting her essentially.
Mhm.
And
And it's like it's not the focus. It's like
If
the
I'm-
focus is the mother-daughter relationship changing, not
Mhm.
her trying to get approval for Miriam to
Yeah.
be in a friend group. Like it's
Yeah.
and it's
Sorry, Nick, go for it.
the last thing I'll add to this is like we want you to fight for these things. We want you to fight for queer rep. We want you to fight for that. We all do. We want more of that. But at some point, you know, like when we have these major ideas, especially like of cultural importance and, you know, division in class and stuff like that, you have to ask yourself, like, is what I'm like for this particular case of this movie, is this what this is about? Like, am I fighting to a T because like it is a core part of this movie? How is my argument going to affect the greater message of this movie? You don't need to recenter the conversation around this movie to talk about what you like about this movie. Again, like I only got I have the dad that I relate to in this movie. But I'm not gonna recenter the whole movie around the dad.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He's
Like-
like the superhero. of
Yeah, it's
the
like,
movie.
oh, the only reason they ever came to a conclusion is because the dad came in clutch, right?
Yeah.
Like
no.
I
Yeah,
could literally
I have
make
no issue with people just saying like I related to Miriam and this seemed like my friend group growing up. That's fantastic.
That's
Yeah.
great.
but you don't see me
But
going
it's
around
essentially,
like,
my
it's
reason.
the gaslighting and the telling me that I am wrong
Yeah.
for saying
Yeah.
there is so many other reasons and it's not what it's about. You can do you, but
Yeah.
that's not what it's about.
That's not the
And I've
main
said-
conversation.
So many times this year that 2022, I'm going to stop headcanon anybody's sexuality. I just want to see queer relationships
Yeah.
on screen, and that's what I'm
Mhm.
going to fight
Yeah.
for. Because I know, like, obviously the stuff with the Don't Say Gay bill, like, it's amplified it even more. And people are essentially coming at me saying, like, you don't care about the queer community because you're either supporting this movie, which is like, I'm not
Ridiculous.
seeing any hate for any
It's
other
no.
on any of my other like Marvel content or Star Wars content that I've been putting out in
Exactly.
the same time period. So like, you're not letting me do this, but then you're also trying to say, well, it doesn't matter the Asian significance
yeah,
because we were lacking the queer ones, but like, I get both. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm there. I'm both. I understand. Like we like, especially getting like a little glimpse of Priya. And the
And the
friend
goth
group
girl.
is like, oh my
Which,
god,
like, by the
she's
way-
dancing with this girl.
which like by the way,
Like-
I've told you this, Vic. It's like you want to project a lot of ideas on Miriam, which again is fine, but you have a clear example of Priya who is there. But
A
like,
queer
why
person
They're
not?
of
not going
color.
for.
Why don't you relate to Priya? Why can't you
Yeah.
relate to
Yeah.
Priya? What's wrong with that? Is it?
And
What's the
relate to,
difference?
like,
what's
your
the difference?
friends being like,
It's
oh my
weird.
god, she's dancing with a cute
Yeah.
girl. Like,
It's right there.
Yeah. What's wrong
and
with that?
people are like fighting tooth and nail because like I think there might be some art in the Art of Turning Red book suggesting that they were trying to
Oh,
make
yeah, yeah.
Miriam queer.
I was
and stuff.
looking at that. I kind of want to get it.
Yeah, so I want to take a look at those pictures, but also it's really gross with the recentering too, because it sparked rumors and people fully believe it. And I've gotten comments, and so, like myself and other people have debunked it. It's just like they were saying that the actress is actually trans, so Miriam is trans, and it's like the actress Ava Morris has never come out as trans. Frankly, it doesn't matter. She's an incredible actress, and why are people questioning that? And then I get told that I'm like, oh, like, but it's clear as day what I'm saying. Don't just take looks into account.
Yeah.
Like, there's cultural aspects to some of these things, and then people saying too is like, well, she's not actually white because she's Jewish, and it's just like,
You can be white and Jewish. I'm gonna
but-
say it. You can be white and Jewish. You can be black and Jewish. You can be Asian and Jewish. Yeah,
it's-
you can
it's
be
more
all
like-
of these
like,
things at the
yeah,
same
like,
time.
Rabbi
I know
Chang
it's like
from
an
Community.
ethno-religion, but it's the fact that people, white people, will still project onto her.
Yeah.
If they know it or not. It's.
Yeah.
I honestly, it'd be fucking dope that she's Jewish. She's got like, if Jewish people have like, I think the name is what's keying
Miriam?
Jewish
Miriam.
creators in.
Yeah, Miriam.
I think it's the last name and stuff too.
Mm.
And I'm like, that's fucking dope because again,
Yeah.
accurate as fuck. But like, it doesn't change the fact that that's what the white people are latching onto.
Again, you got Priya right there. Why not
right there.
Priya?
Like,
A little
they're
weird,
like,
it's
oh,
not
yeah, but
Priya.
like, it was too obvious with Priya, so like,
What's wrong? Isn't that
Before
what
the
we're
What's wrong
about
with
though?
that?
Isn't that the whole point? That's the whole point. Johnny, what were you
but
gonna say?
we need more. It's just like,
I'm not gonna lie, I forgot.
Oh, okay.
I'm running off fumes and I gotta
Sorry.
do a graveyard shift later.
Okay,
so
no, we'll wrap this up.
But yeah.
Johnny's
Um,
close to dead. No, don't wrap up later or early. I do want to keep continuing this
Yeah, no, no,
conversation.
we-
yeah,
well,
but that
Yeah.
gets to like some of the things. So again, with the cultural differences, it starts.
Oh,
to-
now remember. Okay, so sorry, so sorry, Victoria,
Go.
for cutting you off.
No, go.
I was just gonna say the whole queer coding thing over Miriam thing. It reminds me a lot of when a lot of white people were just trying to ship Shun-Chi and Katie, just based off that one line that the grandma gave of like, when are you guys gonna get married?
oh,
Oh,
Because I
yeah.
feel like there's that huge disconnect because they didn't grow up in different cultures and all that, where they just took that to mean like a serious thing, despite the fact that in our cases, we're just used to that question being thrown around whenever we're hanging out with anyone of the opposite gender, right?
Especially of the same culture.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or
Because
like,
grandma wants you to get an Asian girl.
or like Isabel from Encanto, where she doesn't want to marry that guy. It's like,
Exactly.
But she's doing it for the family
yeah.
pride, and there's
Mhm.
these eldest grandchild expectations. And
Yeah,
stuff. Like,
and it's like,
Exactly. You
get
can't
it.
disappoint
you're
grandma.
missing the spice, guys. You're missing the spice in it all.
You're lacking the
You're missing the
seasoning.
flavor,
All right,
bro.
and then it
Oh,
gets
that's a
me back to
sticker.
like the same thing. Especially you see this in a lot of Marvel movies, like Katie Shang-Chi, and like every time like the Athena Gilgamesh is like, why can't we have more platonic relationships on screen? And then you get them,
Yeah.
and then you ship that, but like
And then
if
you're trying to
people
ship them.
have like say like, oh, Gilgamesh and Athena basically are essentially married this
Yeah.
entire time. They live together,
Exactly.
whatever. They take care of each other. That's a reach.
That's
were
yeah.
roommates.
I'm
That's a
crazy.
reach.
I'm crazy to think that they're together.
I'm
Gaslight
crazy
me into
between
it.
Selena and Annika. That's a reach.
Yeah.
But
Man.
I am the villain for suggesting maybe don't argue with people and make it about the queer relationships when that's not the heart of the story.
Yeah.
We need those stories, but that's not the heart of the story.
The last two topics we have here are just like insecure men and like
Mhm.
periods, right? Like obviously, like when we were watching, when me and my fiance were watching it, I was just like, "Oh, there's a movie about periods," and it's like, I think so, but like when you pull back, it's like, no, there's more here. There's more here. We did see in that shot, though, the behind the scenes one you showed me, there were more titles that were like,
Like, yeah.
aligned with like
My Neighbor Toronto.
that was my favorite. My Neighbor
Yeah.
Toronto. I was like, that would have been lit. I love that one.
Victoria's RPG and so a lot of great 2000 references.
Yeah.
But like a lot of them centered around puberty and stuff.
Yeah.
And,
The,
that's
like
a
the red
very,
peony. I think that was one of my favorites.
Yeah.
No, I think Turning Red was a good title because it,
Turning
again,
Red's
like
perfect in my
it
book.
opens up a lot more conversation as opposed to just like, because if you did call it like something like, I don't know what was the
Red
names on
Panda
those
Girl
boards,
or
Red Panda
something.
Girl or something,
Yeah.
or something like that. It's like, okay, well, like you could kind of like pigeonhole yourself into this only one topic. So it's not just about periods, guys. Like it's not.
It's really not.
Yeah.
But on the topic of the name of Turning Red, I love it because people argue it's like, oh, it didn't make me cry, it didn't make me sad, but like it's not any less emotional because everyone felt that big embarrassing moment.
Oh,
at
yeah.
Daisy Mart, and it's Turning Red
Yeah.
is embarrassment
Embarrassment.
and going through this awkward time. And
There's
Yeah.
just so many meanings to it, to say the least.
Yeah.
That I think it's the
just-
perfect title for this.
I know definitely Laiba can relate to. It's like periods are just one part of
The conversation.
puberty. It's just
It's one part.
it's a one physical marker, but like they don't choose that as their definition of womanhood. Their definition of womanhood is seeing those boys perform
Yeah.
Yeah.
on stage.
Yeah.
And honestly, landmark. Whatever. 'Cause
And
the
she's like,
little
"Oh, go
girls
be
and stuff
women without me."
have periods and stuff. And like, yeah, like that's what they choose as the marker. It's super accurate. And like people say like, oh, God, it was hilarious though. It's just like, oh, but it is actually about menstruation. I'm like,
Yes.
bleeding
And
is
then
one
some.
part
Yeah.
of puberty. They're like, oh, but it's about puberty. They said it on thing, so it is about periods. I'm like, and they're like, you are invalidating women's experiences and this and that. I don't know. I'm just like, oh, okay, delete it.
Because
men
Like,
don't get
obviously, you're not getting
They
it.
don't.
No.
We don't.
Insecure.
Anonymous person. I try to give a very it was a very neutral. It's just one part of it. Oh, you're distilling it and you're hating on women now, and I'm like, no,
It's
I'm
so
not.
it's so crazy
I'm just
because
saying it's more. And I'm like, is that what men? And I think, and I've come to the conclusion, I think that men who don't have an even relationship with women, who don't see themselves as equal as women, will reduce women down to periods.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
the defining moment.
And-
And it's not.
I've actually had a moment where like it's my brother started dating, well, with his current what was his current girlfriend? Either way, and he was like, I have to go buy tampons, and I was like, okay, like, what do you want me to just go do it? Just go
Okay.
buy it. And he's like, no,
Yeah.
I don't know how. And I was like, have you bought a soda before? It's the same thing. And he's like, well, like, won't they
Your
like ask me?
card.
Yeah, it's like,
You tap it.
won't they ask me questions and stuff, or like, what they like? It's like embarrassing. It's like,
Nobody's judging you.
it's like, what's
Just ask her
embarrassing
what
about
size she needs, and you buy that brand and type.
I was like,
Half of
what's-
the
And it's done.
population,
what's
men,
embarrassing?
women, non-binary people, all have.
Yeah. And it's like,
Frustration.
at first I was like, kind of like, no, just do it. But at the same time, it's like, what did I do to like kind of explain that to him? You know, like, what have I done? Because like, our dad wasn't the guy to explain that to anybody, and our mom was too overly protective to like explain it to anybody, right? I had to learn through, social experiences and like friends and stuff like that.
Being in
But I'm also
relationships.
older, yeah, in a
Not
committed
true.
relationship. It's like, okay, yeah, like I have to go buy this stuff, like I'll buy it, like whatever. But like for him, it's like, okay, am I gonna take this moment away from him and make him feel like inferior? It's like, no, okay, like you can't, like,
Just
can't,
tell him how to
Educate
do
him.
it.
yeah, like you can't just be upset, like you can't like be embarrassed with this stuff. Like if you people do that, this is what people do. You can't just think like it's embarrassing. Like if you are gonna be with this woman for years on end, like you think you're never gonna buy this stuff, like you kind of just have to understand, like, this is a normal
Yeah.
conversation you can have with people. You don't have to make it weird. It's like,
Mhm.
what's the difference between that and like buying condoms for yourself? Like, you think
Yeah.
people are gonna ask you weird things? Like when you go buy condoms, you think you're gonna fill out a survey or something? Like,
first, second time, yeah, you might feel that way, but it's just like,
Yeah,
people.
you just do it. Like you
or
just
just
do
go to
it.
self checkout. Like,
Yeah, go to self checkout,
Yeah.
whatever.
Or in my case, just go to the clinic.
There was okay. I do have like one story though. This is so funny, and like I can't go back to
Oh
that
my
Walgreens.
God.
There was a Walgreens by my house, and I would get like a Twinkie and like an iced coffee from there like every day. And this lady would bring me up every single day. She basically watched me grow up for like 6 years, right?
nice.
And when I hit college, I went to go buy condoms at that Walgreens. Didn't even think about it. And I did, like, she had rang me up for those condoms, and I was like, this is a little embarrassing because it's like,
yeah, that's like a family friend.
that's like,
She knows you.
oh man, this is a little different. Because I'd bought them before, but like in this specific moment, I was like, oh, this is a little weird.
Didn't even realize.
Yeah. I was
Oh,
like,
you see that little kid from like 6 years ago doing this. Ooh.
Yeah, and she was definitely acting
A
different
little
that time.
smirk or
She did not
something.
say
Oh,
hi.
hi, Nick. Oh, hi,
Yeah.
Nick.
It was
But, like,
funny.
it's okay. Also, to men out there, if you get asked to buy period products for any woman in your life, all you need to do is just say, "Send me which ones you like."
Yep.
They will send you a picture of the box.
Yeah, that's not your picture box.
Yep.
Yep.
Come on,
Or
guys.
you just take a picture of the box if you are in the house where it's run out, and you just go in and buy exactly that.
Guys, they've made it real easy. Okay, they put the name largely on the box. It's not
They are
hard.
color coded for us.
They're
Most
color-coded.
boxes look different and they're color coded.
And they're
You
color
just gotta,
coded. They
like,
made it
play
real easy,
match.
guys.
You take your phone, you say like, "This is the picture they sent me," because you have phones, and you look and you double check
You make sure.
and you buy it,
and
or
yeah.
you might buy a bigger box of only the same variety if it's on sale. That's fine.
And then you ask yourself, why the
Now
fuck
that's
is
new
this?
information.
And then you ask yourself, why the fuck is this $20? And you're like,
And
what?
then
What?
And
and
then you
then
ask,
it's
why
like,
is there
you
an
realize,
also
why is
tax on it?
taxed? Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, why the fuck is this $20? And you're like, oh, that's so unfair because like, what the fuck do I have to buy like regularly? That's $20.
And if you see a snack that you're like, "Ooh, I'm kind of craving a snack." Also, like, if you
Get
buy
it.
something for you,
Get the
Get-
arrow
get it.
bars.
get
Get-
something else for them too.
Get
There-
2 of them. Come
Get
on.
There
two
was
of 'em.
one point in my high school relationship where my girlfriend at the time was on her period. I straight out bought her a DQ ice cream cake. Okay,
Yeah.
Honestly.
that and like a
not all
box
girl-
of
like,
tampons.
you don't have to do that every time, but like if you're a man and you're going to buy the tampons and you see a snack for you, you have to get something for her. Then.
Consider something for her.
Men buy period products.
Or keep
Get
getting
into the
stuff.
camera
If
and
you
you
are
tell
a
them.
good, if you have women
Don't
in your
fucking
life,
forget it, okay?
girlfriends, sisters,
Mothers.
mothers, just ask them what they like and just keep it in your house.
Real men buy
That's
period products, guys.
You just keep it in your house
Real
for when
men.
they visit, just in case.
Legit,
Yes.
I have had this thought out in my head where like if I'm ever living by myself, I'm gonna have those products in the house
You
just
keep
in
it
case.
under the sink in that area. The
Exactly.
girls, you just let them know eventually. Be like,
Hey, heads up.
heads up.
There's this. If
Anything
you're out
you might
and you
need
forgot
is
something.
underneath. You're good.
Exactly.
Pay the $20.
Pay the
Pay the
$20
$20.
you
It'll
guys.
last you a
Remember
lot
in
longer.
Canada when freaking Stephen Harper almost added on an extra tax on to feminine products, by the
fuck that
way?
guy. It's
I
not
mean,
fun
I think
time.
we only have to pay provincial now.
I'll have to
Half the
double
tax,
check.
At least in Ontario. I think it's only 7% over 13, but
Okay, if it's only the provincial one, I'm pretty sure I'm paying 7% then in BC.
that's not bad. But yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's a whole black load of drama about people who just don't want to empathize. I think what it boils down to is they don't want to put in the effort to empathize.
Yeah.
Something they don't already know.
Do the work, guys. Do the work.
You just gotta put in the work. Honestly,
Put in
there's
the
no excuse. You just put in the work, or you don't complain about it because honestly, it looks really embarrassing for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
Please
you'll
don't.
turn red.
Yeah.
But
But you won't be a red panda. You're not that cool. You'll never be that cool.
You don't get
Can
to
we
be
just
that
talk
cool.
about how cute
Oh
Haley
Oh my
was as a
god,
panda?
it's so
We haven't even
so
dressed
adorable.
up.
She's so
Mei
adorable.
much.
The
And
voice
people
acting
saying
did a
the
great job
animation
too.
was bad.
Yeah,
Oh,
no.
Like, how was the animation
Okay, yeah, we haven't
bad?
talked about
Like,
the
the
animation.
details on
No,
the
let's
Yeah,
talk about the
let's make this real quick. Let's make this
animals.
real
The
quick.
woo eyes.
Oh man.
Oh my god.
The cooking, I was
Oh, I was hungry for pork
the
belly, buddy.
cooking. Oh man.
I wanted that pork belly.
Also, it kind of reminded me of the SpongeBob days where like they'd go hyper realistic when they're
Oh,
doing
yeah,
a
yeah,
big
yeah, yeah, yeah.
emotion.
Yeah.
I did a little
That's
not
really 2000s.
Yeah.
I
Right
don't know
there.
why though, but like one of my favorite moments was when Mei Mei's crying though, and she's just like, "I'm a gross red monster," and then just the tear. I don't know
Just-
why, but it was really
Because the tears
cute.
just kind of like well up. You can see them on the
Exactly.
eyes and on the fur, and
Yeah.
her like whiskers are kind of crumpled, but also
Mhm.
like her magical girl moments. Like there's so many.
Yeah,
good
I like how
ones.
I love
everything
them.
was like really boxy. You know, like
Yes.
soft box kind of vibe.
Yeah.
You know, everything like fit perfectly into where it was supposed to be, but also it felt very like loose and messy. I don't know. It's like it was very satisfying to watch, but also
Push
just seeing
style.
like it all like come together was like really fun. Yeah.
Also, also the lighting throughout.
Oh my
too,
god.
was just
Yeah.
It was so good.
thematic, and also too like it gave even more. I think this is the most expression I've seen in an animated movie. Like these 3D animated movies.
Yeah, yeah,
so
yeah.
long
The
because
lighting
like,
was
so
phenomenal.
exaggerated. Like the scared, it goes up to close up to that hyper realism, but it also like has the blue like
Yes.
Yeah.
vignette on it.
There's
It's just, like-
there's this one scene. It was right after Tyler's birthday, and I think Johnny, you pointed this out, but she was driving home with her mom, and
Oh,
she's like in the
yes.
car, and she's looking out the window, and you can see the reflection of the
So
like the
beautiful.
lights passing by. I
God, yeah.
loved
Loved
it
it.
so much.
Okay, so this is like a super tech nerd thing for me. Ever since I want to say Monsters University, they've been using RTX technology. So, do you guys know what that is? Do you
Nope.
guys know what that is? So RTX technology is essentially like old CGI used to only use like one light source or like a primary light
Mhm.
source, and then you can add multiple light sources. The thing is though, light wouldn't bounce in those like environments. So once it hits a surface, that's basically the lighting for that scene. Ever since Monsters University, they've been using RTX technology where the surface will illuminate other objects in the surrounding.
Oh.
So proper
Oh.
lighting, like it actually looks like good lighting because it functions like real lighting.
Mhm.
Which is why like we have such beautiful scenes now because like you have ambient lighting, you have major lighting, and then you have your main lighting.
One of the big things with Soul too is they were
Yes.
able to master this lighting from inside the characters.
Yes,
too.
yes, yes, yes.
Yes.
And that's where that technology shined really well, which is crazy. Did it win Best Animated Film? I think it did. No, it didn't. It didn't win
Don't
Best
remember.
Animated Film.
Probably nominated though.
Yeah, it was
Definitely
nominated, but
nominated.
it's definitely like that's what makes it so crazy when people are like animation. The animation here sucks. Like you're crazy. Like you're actually insane.
I
Like-
guarantee you the only reason why people are saying that is because our main characters are not your standard looking
No,
main
absolutely.
characters. They
Yeah.
have wider faces.
They love
they're
to
red-
say, "I hate the bean mouth." Well, like get over yourself.
Get over yourself, bro.
Yeah.
I hate
You're
those
not
people.
gonna like as long as like I know there's like some things like Mitchell's versus the machines where it's caused people like motion sickness.
Yes.
Mhm.
Valid, but like
But when you're like saying, I hate the bean mouth, I hate the little like nose thing, I hate the Disney style, it's like, bro, just shut up. Like, it's not about that. It's not style choice. Like, when you're gonna talk about animation and you're gonna like literally say some stupid shit like that, it's just, it doesn't make any
not
sense. Like, we had
lazy or
such,
cheap animation.
yeah, it's just
It's
lazy
just-
critiquing.
Okay, just you don't like the stylization.
Yeah, it's just
Go cry about it on your own.
go cry about it.
Read
Create
the
your own
room.
platform.
Exactly.
Oh man,
But
what a great
this
movie.
movie. Oh wait,
Yes.
let's how many red
Okay.
pandas?
5 out of 5.
5, yeah.
Oh,
No,
what?
no. 5 giant main-sized red pandas out
Mommy
of
pandas.
5 mommy pandas out of red
Ew,
pandas.
she was so
Pandas.
scary.
There we go.
She was.
I
but
love
she was
her
so
hair,
cool.
though.
That was the best. She was
Her
so
little
cool.
beauty mark and everything.
Yeah.
She had like a blowout as a panda. It was
Yeah,
so
and
Oh,
she
she
moved
had
slowly.
like little bangs.
She
and
just
stuff.
she moved slowly because it made her feel like so much bigger.
Oh
Yeah.
my
I
was like,
god, what was
dang.
their ancestor's name? Her
Sun
Sunny.
Sun Yi. Yeah, her
Name of one
panda
of my
was so
favorite
beautiful.
restaurants.
She
Oh
had
my
like
God. The
eyelash
lashes,
extension.
the little crown.
And her
she
little
had a
like
crown.
ribbon hanging around her.
Yeah.
She was
loved it.
ready.
Yeah, I'm at least 500 pandas out of 5.
500 pandas.
There you go.
500
5
pandas.
4-town members out of 5. Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. The flaws are not in the movie. The flaws are in the reception of this movie.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay,
Honestly, I
no.
don't-
I'm sorry. Okay, I don't want to be the Debbie Downer. I showed this movie to my mom. I think I told you guys, or in the group chats or anything like that.
Uh-huh.
My mom says that this is very streamlined Asian culture for white people.
Yeah, I
And,
think
like,
so.
I kinda
But
get it.
It's like,
I mean, yeah,
You gotta
technically, because
appeal
it
to
is
masses.
westernized.
Yeah.
I was
It
telling
is-
my
but
mom,
it is
like, this is
also
a
coming
very
from someone who
Western.
grew up in
Toronto.
Toronto.
Exactly. I was telling her this. She's like, "Yeah, it's not for me." So then she didn't finish the movie. I'm like, oh, I was so disappointed.
I think my
Kevin.
boyfriend's mom started it and was like, it's not for me. I'm like,
Ooh.
probably not. You also had boys, so.
Also
yeah.
true.
All right. What about you, Laiba? What's your...
I'm gonna go with Victoria. I'm gonna go with Victoria's answer. B.
500.
Big B
500.
right next to you.
All right.
But yeah,
There you go. There you guys go. The official Voices of Atlas ranking for
Rating for Red Turning Red.
Turning
I
Red.
think
Yeah.
it averages out to be about 202.5 red pandas.
Yeah.
and,
Out of 5.
and 1 4-town member.
And 1 4-town member.
4-town member.
Out of 5 pandas.
Specifically Taeyong. It's Taeyong that's in there.
It's Taeyong.
Taeyong.
It's only Taeyong in
Taeyong.
It's our
there.
Asian boy.
In the whole like army of red pandas, there's just Taeyong right in the middle.
He's
Is
right.
it right when Maymay's having
He's
that
like-
nightmare?
Him
They're all
him
calling
and
over and they're
Maymay
like,
are
"Oh,
there,
Taeyong."
just like, let me do my heart.
Okay.
All right.
But
Do we have
I know
any
the
final
next
thoughts?
thing are we doing final thoughts?
I don't know.
know.
Do we?
it?
What else do you
I
want
was
to say?
gonna say, Johnny, you have a special or something. Just
Oh, okay. I will provide that. I do want to quickly say though, that moment with Maymay and her mom though brought me back to what Simu said about growing up as Western Asians, how we our parents had those expectations that it's up to us in many ways to show them the other paths, you know?
Yeah.
And
yeah.
also, you're living between two worlds.
And that. But
This is a physical representation
Where
of
is
that,
he?
as
He's
opposed
right-
to. There he is.
there he is.
There he
Chest
is.
there.
He showed up.
There you go. Simu
He's
shut
here.
up. But on theme with Turning Red, and if y'all haven't seen Nick's Turning Radiant Red art, by the way, y'all need to go check that out on his Instagram.
So
I kind of
good.
fucking
Yeah.
love it. We love crossovers on here.
I love crossovers. They're the best.
But also, was it 2 weeks ago? We had an amazing interview with a comic book writer named Cherish Chen.
yes.
She was such a joy. She also really loved Turning Red.
Yeah, she did.
So
She's talking about it on
to
Twitter.
so to help support Radiant Red, Cherish Chen, and to keep on theme and brand with Turning Red, I've got like 10 copies of Radiant Red here,
Woo.
all just ready to be given away, guys. So
Yeah.
we will figure out how we're gonna do that. So keep an eye out for that. Okay.
I think we're gonna look at reviews. So if you guys
We're
can
gonna
give us
look at
5
reviews.
stars,
So give us 5 stars on Apple Podcasts, and you might be able to win an issue of
Of
Radiant
Radiant
Red,
Red.
issue number 1, cover
Yeah.
A. And yeah,
Radiant Red, guys. It's good. I read it.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It's absolutely
Oh,
amazing.
really?
it's in
excited
my
to read it.
box.
I
I'm
need-
gonna read it tonight when I'm at the graveyard shift.
Tomorrow I'm gonna go on a hot girl walk to the comic book store.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Ooh, hot girl.
Hot red girl
Love
walk.
it.
Material girl.
Material girl.
Hot
Material
red
girl. What is it? No, that's a good story to like parallel to like Turning Red because she when Cherish Shan was here, she had talked about like writing stories
And
about being angry.
expectations. Yeah.
Writing stories about being like, with rage and like emotion. And she's like, why do we always have to fit into this like, like Asian woman
Perfect
stereotype?
little-
Exactly.
Go check out that video. Go check out that
Quiet,
VOD. We'll have it
submissive
posted.
Asian girl.
Yeah.
We'll have the actual podcast episode out very soon, hopefully.
Yeah, it's definitely like if you like Turning Red, you're gonna love Radiant Red. If you like Radiant Red, you're gonna like Radiant Black. Which is
And if
again,
you like
my
those
favorite.
two things, you're gonna love Turning Red. If you watch this entire episode without having had seen the movie,
And if you like any of those, you're gonna love us.
Yeah, you love us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's
You're
no
gonna
reason to
love
not
Shang-Chi.
give us 5 stars on Apple Podcasts.
exactly.
Yeah, give us 5 stars. It'll be great.
Yeah.
And if you like us and you like all those things, you can follow us other places. So
Yeah.
Johnny, where do
yes.
we find you?
Yes. Honestly, some of you guys might have known that I was giving away 10 issues of Radiant Red if you followed me on Instagram at marvelous_Johnny. But if you want the bulk of my material, my thoughts, anything, because like, especially with Moon Knight coming out, because like I have a fun big announcement on TikTok itself. But if you've been listening to podcasts, you know that I have a countdown coming.
Yeah.
That I will be announcing fully
to
and
our
preparing
first watch party
on my birthday on Saturday. So get ready for that. You can find me at Marvelous Johnny. No underscore for my TikTok. There is the underscore on Instagram. And on my Twitter, where I have been honestly a bit more active lately, I recently got blocked by Gina Carano.
Fun.
Classic.
So you know what? I'm ready for Star Wars celebrations through that. And yeah, just follow me on all my socials. Just go to my link tree on my
it's a
TikTok.
great time. Johnny,
Yeah.
cute. Nick, where do we find you?
You can find me at Amazing Kendra on basically every platform now. I am currently working on my Moon Knight pins. Those are in production currently. I'll probably do a giveaway once.
Get your pins.
What happened?
I said get your pins.
Oh yeah, get the pins.
And
Come
get
on,
it
guys.
and be ready for the
Yeah, be ready for the Moon Knight. They should be
Get
here.
ready for the watch parties.
They
with
should
me.
be here by like episode 2 or 3. By the time I
There
get
we
it.
But like you wear it for the finale.
Yeah, wear it
There
for the
we go.
finale. It'd be super sick. But yeah, I have those pins coming, and I plan to produce more, based on other Marvel projects. So if you guys,
Nick, you did
know,
mention you were planning some possible Ms. Marvel ones.
I'm planning possible Miss Marvel ones. I'm also planning some Multiverse of Madness ones. It's gonna be a regular thing if this like Moon Knight inspired one, kind of takes off. So, which a lot of people have actually enjoyed a lot of. I've actually had a lot of good responses from that. But we also have a enamel pin that we're also working on, which I showed you guys, which is our Turning Red enamel pin.
I'm so excited.
Yeah. I haven't. I showed the design on our TikTok, which you can follow on that, and find out what that looks like. It's just getting I'm gonna run through this one, and then we're gonna see if I can sneak the other one in the next batch, and it's gonna be a good time. So keep up with us. I'm also working on our merch. I have a couple of
We got some mock-ups
yeah, I
going.
got some mock-ups going.
We're getting official.
Trust me, it's not just our logo on a shirt. Okay, we're not nobody.
They're
We're
much
more creative than
cooler.
that.
Yeah, we're much better than
With
We put
Nick
in
on the
way more effort.
squad, It's going to be great.
very like streetwear inspired. It's gonna be it's good. I wouldn't
It's
give
gonna
you
be
guys
dope.
just some screen printed garbage. It's gonna be nice. But yeah, follow me everywhere else. Amazing to Kendra. And that's it. That's me.
Laiba, where do we find you?
You can find me on TikTok at Mixed and Anxious. I will be posting my Turning Red review, but gonna be busy in April. I'm dreading April.
You
But,
got big things coming for it.
Mhm.
I do. I got big things coming. I hope, but yeah. Find me on Instagram at Laiba Hazara, and TikTok is Mixed and Anxious. And yeah.
Which by
Yeah.
the way, we haven't totally discussed the details yet, but we will be taking a break sometime in April.
Yes.
Because we're graduating, getting married. There's a whole slew of things going on. So
And
Yeah.
lots of things are coming.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, you can find me. I'm Victoria. You can find me everywhere at Victoria Organa. All my links are at victoriaorgana.com. So TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, my Redbubble. Which reminds me, I should upload some of my Turning Red art there.
Yes,
Do,
the Sailor Moon
That's
one.
my
I've
favorite, yeah.
been really on
Yes.
the Turning Red content, and that is not going to stop anytime soon. Actually, it's going to start picking up in a couple weeks. Once I actually get back to Toronto and my cosplay
Woo.
setup and ring light and everything, you bet your bottom dollars I'm going to be
Bottom
doing
dollars.
so many
Canadian
people.
dollars.
Actually,
Why did
somebody
Victoria
somebody
steal
tried
the
to
red
get
panda?
mad at me. Somebody tried to comment me by calling me Annie with my cosplay, and I'm like, that's funny because bet your bottom dollars that tomorrow I'll be fine. Anyway, also Moon Knight coming up. Watch parties. Our watch party schedule might be taking a little bit of a thing, but we're gonna have Moon Nights on Wednesdays.
You
So
know I'm
excited.
gonna be there.
The only thing is
So
maybe more.
excited.
So
Maybe more, yeah.
Ah!
maybe more.
I did get jump scared, so I'm very excited to do a watch party with me getting
I
jump
haven't watched
scared because
that
I got
clip
jump
yet,
scared watching the
so-
clip today.
Caught you, baby!
excited. But we are the Voices of Atlas. As Johnny mentioned, leave us review.
Yeah.
Yes.
After,
That
Also-
will be entered for cool things, and find us everywhere at voicesofatlas.com. So then
And
you
keep
can
an
find-
eye out because we might be appearing in an article soon.
oh yeah,
Yes.
Let's not forget that we did that.
I am.
Shout out to Kate out there.
Whenever this article comes
Coming.
out, which is also by an amazing Asian creator.
Amazing.
Amazing creator.
Amazing
We're coining that. No one
We
take
will
it.
put that
Sorry.
Amazing.
on our website so that you can find that. But our website, voiceofatlas.com, you can find us there on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, YouTube. Our Discord link is there, as long as also Stream Lounge. But
Yeah.
we love and appreciate all your
Every
great
single
feedback
one.
and reviews. So
Yeah. Thank you so much, everybody. We appreciate every single
thank
one
you
of
for
you.
watching this episode.
That has been us.
Yeah.
And Turning Red.
We love you guys.
Great evening.
Bye.
Stay
Bye.
angry people. I don't know what would be a good one. Bye.
Bye.